Alrighty, what is up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast. This is always one of our favorite episodes of the year, picking all conference tournament champions. We have had 3 conference tournaments already take place. Some will be moving, there's games tomorrow on Monday for the Patriot League, and then the Southland finished their first round of the conference tournament. So we're picking 26 conference tournament champions today on the show. Before that, we're gonna talk about our end of the season awards, and it's regular season only. So it's mid-major player of the year, mid-major coach of the year, mid-major pitcher of the year, and the same awards for the Power 4 schools as well. We'll give away our finalists there, top 3 finalists. We'll also talk about Jack and myself. We had a great experience at the Citadel, broadcasting on ESPN Plus. We'll dive into some details there, and then I don't know. We'll just kind of feel the show out the rest of the way. After that, there's not a lot of structure. But this episode is brought to you by Home Field Apparel. Use our promo code 15% off using promo code CWS25, and that's homefieldapparel.com. Get locked and loaded for the postseason. They ship out very quickly. You buy it one day, and it's there on your front porch like 3 or 4 days later. Really good about shipping. Check them out. Over 150 schools, high-quality material, jerseys, hats, bomber jackets, retro logos on T-shirts and hats and stuff like that too. So anyways, we got the whole crew here. And it's an episode that we absolutely needed the whole crew because it is a very, very important time of the year. Conference tournaments will be starting, I guess the first wave will be starting on Tuesday. And Tuesday is a day where you can turn the TV on at 9 a.m. Eastern and watch American Athletic and a few other conferences get going and watch it for 5 days straight without missing college baseball. So, yeah, we're going to be making picks, all 26 conference tournaments. We have them locked and loaded on the back end of the system here. And we're going to do a contest with the 26 conference tournaments between the 4 of us. It's going to be a point system based off of seeding. So, for example, if I pick Mercer to win the SoCon as a 4 seed, and Mercer wins the SoCon as a 4 seed, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I'm showing a video of a conference tournament that already happened when you just said they're starting on Tuesday.
That was just awful timing there. Take a lap, Dimitri. I was in the
middle. No. This is around the horn. Mute his ass. That was unbelievable.
Take a lap.
The guy screaming in the background.
That's gonna get us demonetized on YouTube.
It's not. You can do that, Ben. We'll fucking show the hundreds and millions of hours of fucking baseball games on YouTube. We can show a clip of Columbia baseball team dogpiling. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but Wheels gets it cleared with Catapult or whatever.
I act like we make money on our YouTube anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, it's a point system.
55 cents.
If I picked Mercer to win the SoCon and they win it, I would get 4 points because they were a 4 seed. So if somebody picks Rice to win the American Athletic Conference, they're a 7 seed, they would get 7 points. Or they could take the favorite UTSA, and that would be 1 point. So it's easier. It's the most competitive way. I think we did the same thing last year for this, and it was fun tallying up the points at the end. So that's the structure there. But let's dive into these awards first because I think they are important. Everybody gets caught up in the postseason and wants their team to do well or their favorite players, or if they follow the draft, they want those players to do well. But the regular season is a grind, and it's still really important to these kids. So end of the year stats, we went through them all, and we released the mid-major player of the year, the coach of the year, and the pitcher of the year today on Sunday. So a few hours ago before we recorded this podcast. And we want to start with the mid-major coach of the year. I have a hilarious voicemail from a Coastal Carolina fan that is defending his guy, Kevin Schnall, but we gave the award to Pat Hallmark of UTSA. Now, there was several candidates that had great accolades on the resume, and it was tough picking the champion, or picking the winner of the award. I think it stemmed from the lack of resources that UTSA has, facilities to recruit to and from, and then them losing all of their good players to either the draft, graduation, or the transfer portal.
Ruger Yohas at Texas, Matt King at Arizona State.
Right, like 2 players that are balling out at the Power 4 conference, like could have easily been on this team this year as well. So very new roster, and they win 40-plus games, win the American Athletic Conference with ease. And this is a guy that is highly, highly, highly respected in the industry and is going to get a ton of looks at that, probably the SEC fillings or potential ACC fillings that needed to be done this summer. So any thoughts here, guys, on Pat Hallmark beating out – I can read off the top 3 finalists. I think I still have them here. Let me see. Yeah, top 3 finalists were Hallmark, Schnall, and Mike Glavin from Northeastern.
Congratulations to Pat Hallmark on an unbelievable year. Talk about a guy doing more with less. UTSA basically just said, nope, we're not even going to bid to host a regional because their facilities are not good enough. They're not up to par. This guy just won the American Athletic Conference by, I don't know, 5 or 6 games. Absolutely dominated. They're a top 25 RPI team, top 25 team in the country nationally, and they just basically said, nope, we can't host the regional. Thanks for asking, but we're not going to. So unbelievable job doing more with less.
Yeah. Now, I did make a tweet on the 11.7 account on Thursday. Maybe it was Friday, that Kevin Schnall should have some high consideration for not just mid-major coach of the year, but national coach of the year. And I still believe that. And I think there's other college baseball outlets out there that are going to give him high praise for what he did. Unfortunately, he didn't win this award because we felt like Hallmark did just a little bit more with less. But I did get a ton of DMs on my personal account from Coastal Carolina fans expressing their interest that they disagreed with the decision, and rightfully so. I did get a voicemail today from a Coastal Carolina fan.
Can I add something before we go to this?
Well, yeah, wait your turn there, Noah.
You already spoke.
No, I'm just saying, like, I want to play this on the podcast, this voicemail. Are you guys okay with it?
I wasn't ready to move on from Hallmark's praise.
No. I think this person is going to demonetize our show. I don't think you should do it. Go ahead.
Hey, Dimitri, before we move on to that, let's go back to the fact that we don't care about the demonetization. You just played a video that had absolutely nothing to do with what the hell was going on. I think that was really the problem.
It did.
Yeah, for sure.
Conference tournament started on Tuesday, and so I played a video of a conference tournament that ended today.
Let's keep this train on the rails. We've got a long show ahead of us.
Hey, wait your turn, Noah.
Yeah. All 3 of you. We gotta get on the right page. I'm gonna play this voicemail. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's hilarious. And then Noah, you can talk all you want about Pat Hallmark.
Yeah, it was gonna be a quick remark, but okay, I'll wait a minute 30.
Just wait your turn. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can play this thing.
I just have one simple question. What are we doing with these end-of-year awards for these mid-major schools? Coastal Carolina has a kid who is perfect, has a sub-2 ERA, has not lost a game. It's the name of the game when you're a pitcher. Don't let the other team score. Win the game. He's literal perfection. Didn't get the award for best mid-major pitcher. Okay, fine. J.B. Middleton was awesome. Not perfect, but he was awesome. So then, of course, Coastal's going to get, coach of the year. They're looking at national seed. They're going to be really good. No, they don't get coach of the year either. Well, why? Well, UTSA, they've had a great year. Nothing against them, but, it's like they're the little guy, and Coastal's a really big guy. It's like, well, I mean, maybe Coastal lost more offense last year than they actually had this year. They lost more in about 4 players last year combined than total offense they had this year. And they got 11 more wins because of it. What are we doing? None of this makes sense. You have a pitcher who's perfect, not good enough. Perfection, not good enough. and a coach who has done more with less. And we're still not getting any recognition for these guys. What is going on?
Oh, just great. Love it.
Can I cook for a second?
Yeah.
Just for a second. The big point that our boy Quiggs missed. Now, if you're a big Coastal Carolina fan, you know Quiggs. If you're a college baseball fan, you should. This guy covers the hell out of this team. He loves this school. He loves that program. Does great work. Quiggs, you had me at perfection. I giggled every time you went there. But I picked him to go to Omaha, for God's sakes. Is this pencil pusher not good enough for the Conway, South Carolina area? The biggest point that you missed, you never want to be the guy after the guy. And Schnall was the guy after the guy. He took the keys from the Maserati, and he's driving it right back in Omaha. I picked him to go there. The big piece of the puzzle that I think we're trying to throw here is that everybody deserves love. Coastal has earned the recognition that they deserved. Let's throw something to San Antonio. They are doing this in the desert. In the desert. That's all we were trying to say. Every time you said near perfection, though, I giggled every single time, though.
He's the best.
I'm going to tweet what Jack was going to say. No, this is not what I wanted to jump in and talk about with Hallmark. But Coastal Carolina was expected to be one of those teams from the Sunbelt that were competing for a top 16. UTSA was really good, and we thought they were going to be good in the preseason. But I don't know if they were nationally perceived as a team that was going to run away with the AAC, a top, I think it's 7th in conference RPI right now. That is one hell of a performance, and they lost just as much talent as Coastal Carolina. So, yeah.
Yeah. They're playing in a palace in Conway, South Carolina. UTSA is not. Coastal is hosting a regional. UTSA just physically cannot host a regional. So pipe it down, Quig.
And
Quig, we love you, Quig, but pipe it down.
And I totally understand, and I totally get that we're going to get some blowback for, why we chose this guy instead of this guy. That's going to come with the territory of we're picking one dude that did the best job. Like, we have finalists and runner-ups that were making great cases as well. Like, you're pulling at hairs, just very thin margins here.
No, not a thin margin. Pat Hallmark by a long shot. All prior
to this weekend, this guy
he's doing it. He can't help himself. Yeah, but they didn't see those group chats.
So Quiggs also hinted at our second award, the Mid-Major Pitcher of the Year award.
Before we move on, Todd Clay, my man, you got to get better at Clash Royale.
That's an inside joke to all the UTSA guys out there. That was funny. It was popping off on our Instagram. But to bring up the Mid-Major Pitcher of the Year award, I thought it was pretty. I could make more of a case for JB Middleton of Southern Miss, and I think you guys also agreed. But there was a Coastal Carolina pitcher who did finish second, just like Kevin Schnall in our award. So Coastal Carolina gets 2 second-place finishes between Coach of the Year and Pitcher of the Year. But actually getting to watch this guy pitch pretty much every Friday, I would tune in. And I said it a few podcasts ago, JB Middleton's going to be a major league starter. No questions about it. I think he's better than Tanner Hall. I think he's on par with a guy like Nick Sandlin, where you can count on him going 7, 8 innings, 1 run, 2 runs, maybe 0 runs, and 9, 10, 11 strikeouts. All around, I thought he had a better season than Morrison over at Coastal Carolina. But I could see a case for Morrison from Coastal. So I don't know if any of you guys voted for Morrison to win it, but I know we all kind of had him like that number 2 spot.
Jack Oman.
Yeah.
I was just going to say Jack Oman and Morrison were both right there. Middleton just had more inning. He was on Friday night. He was just slightly better. It doesn't mean Morrison's not good. He was just slightly better.
Yeah, I think if this was like a 2000 Cy Young vote, it might have gone to Jacob Morrison because he did win more games, and that was back in the era that if you won 22 games, if your ERA was 3.5 in the major leagues, they were just going to give you the Cy Young because of the wins. But it was like all the intangible stuff that you just mentioned, Dimitri. Like he threw on Fridays versus Saturdays. Jay Morrison threw on Saturdays. Middleton ate up more innings, had more strikeouts. The ERA was a little bit higher, but like he was somebody that you could just count on every Friday. And I thought just eyeball test too, he was the best mid-major pitcher in the country.
And also another point here was, Jacob Morrison pitched against a great schedule as well, but Middleton, gave length against Louisiana Tech, pitched well, 6 strikeouts against TCU. They also faced UNCW. Both of these guys faced UNCW. Middleton struck out 8. Morrison probably had the better start against UNC Wilmington there. But in conference, I also thought that Southern Miss and JB Middleton was just another level with the strikeouts and also just, maybe not in the win column like Ben was saying, but the stats were all kind of pointing that way other than the wins and the ERA.
Right. And then the last award was the Mid-Major Player of the Year. This includes like offense and defense, but I don't think it really mattered. It came down to 2 guys. Came down to Cameron Nickens of Austin P and Cardell Thibodeau of Southern University. But Cameron Nickens, all around, the stats were tremendous from power, speed, extra base hits, on-base percentage. Like he had just an unbelievable season for the Governors. And I'm rocking the Austin P polo here. Jack's rocking the Austin P shirt. And that goes back to a bet that was made preseason between Jack and Dimitri. We'll get into it here in just a second. But Dimitri lost the 2-liter. What did we call it? The 2-liter Mountain Dew challenge, where you had to finish a 2-liter of Mountain Dew taped to your hands. Live on the show.
The Edward 40 hand with Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Now, it's going to be tough because I don't know if they sell Mountain Dew in Italy. Do they?
I don't think Mountain Dew is a product that's sold here. We'll make it work, though. Might be a soda, might be an alcoholic beverage. We'll figure it out.
Fair enough. But yeah, so those were our mid-major awards we gave away. Regular season only. Best of luck to those guys in the postseason. And then we haven't announced our Power 4 award winners yet, but we do have the 3 finalists for each. The Power 4 position player of the year, so Power 4 player of the year, is going to come down to Mason Novell of Oregon, Alex Lodis from Florida State, and Vahiva Aloy of Arkansas. I think all 3 of those players have separated themselves from the rest. Power 4 pitcher of the year finalist, Anthony Ianson, Liam Doyle, Jake Knapp. Ianson from LSU, Jake Knapp from UNC, and Liam Doyle from Tennessee. And then Power 4 coaches of the year, Jim Schlossnagle from Texas, Dan Fitzgerald of Kansas, and Danny Hall of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, crazy. They win the ACC this year.
Right at the finish line.
Good for them. So we'll announce.
They were always kind of hovering in that 2nd to 3rd place. Like their conference, they started off red hot in the conference schedule. So, yeah, shout out to the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, we'll make those winning announcements on Monday. So you're probably listening to this on Monday, and we'll drop them on Twitter and Instagram just like we did today with the mid-major. But it was really tough. All 6 of those awards were not easy. I think the easiest award to give away was probably the mid-major player of the year with Cameron Nickens.
It's wasn't it the Power 4 coach of the year?
Favorite award.
Yeah, this
is
sweet.
My favorite award.
Mid-major player of the year. But yeah, let's move away from the awards here because we do have a long show ahead of us. And I do want to touch on the Citadel situation that Jack and I were in. We were granted permission to broadcast the Citadel versus ETSU winner take all SoCon championship regular season game on ESPN Plus on Saturday. I drove up to Charleston, hour and a half for me. And the next day after Jack told me that we got it cleared, and it was a huge success. Pre-game batting practice, we were out there, and both coaching staffs were at first, like, I think before they knew who we were like, okay, like these kids are coming, or these guys are coming up talking to us, wanting to interview us. Like, we're more focused on the games. But then like an assistant coach would come over, or a staff member, and be like, Jack, Ben, so glad you're here. That's sick that you guys are announcing the game. And then instantly that, like, the real coaches, like the coaching staff, comes up to us and like talking to us. So I wanted to say, because I think our brand does have some, I don't know, something behind it, that these coaches actually do follow us on Twitter and listen to the podcast and things like that. So that was cool. We get into the game. And in the broadcast, and our producer Lucas goes, guys, this is doing better numbers than our Citadel versus South Carolina game we broadcasted a month ago. So that's credit to all the 11.7 followers and listeners of the podcast and followers on social media. You guys absolutely blew up the stream, and it was the highest. I think he said the highest rated game in the SoCon for the year, and the highest that they did on the season. Now, granted, it was a winner-take-all SoCon regular season championship game, so there was probably some casual college baseball fans that either liked ETSU or Citadel that were really tuning in for that. But I think there was a pretty good push from the 11.7 crowd getting to watch Jack and myself broadcast the game. And the feedback that I've gotten was pretty good. So happy to do that. Maybe we can do more of that next year.
Yeah, special, dude. I think, culmination of a lot of hard work, and obviously knowing those Citadel guys, being from Charleston, and, to have it in the backyard, a place that I grew up bat boy when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, was special. And I've called a ton of games there the last 2 years. So be able to start my career here, and then to build it into this thing where you go, hey, it's kind of real, right? Like it's this idea of, this is what I want to do. I want to do the college game day for college baseball, and to see 11.7 fans go, oh shit, like this is happening, right? And again, long way to go, but it does feel like the beginning of something really cool. And I think there is this idea that the more that we get into these opportunities, the more that we can present value from both sides, if that makes sense. I don't know if that sounds kind of braggadocious, but I do think that there is an opportunity, because we have this platform, to tell stories that these are the ones that we want to tell. So if you're listening, you're a mid-major program that just wants to do the very best by your kids, because that's why you're in this position. That's why you have this job. That's why we do it, right? Like there's a lot of false narratives out there, man. At the end of the day, you do it because you love it. Give us a shout. Packaging these ideas of being able to come broadcast, build content, to get behind the scenes. Like you can take a weekend and we can change the face of your social media platform, which I know sounds TikTok-y, but it's really the ability to help spread love to your kids. So call us, man. We're not scared to make a trip. We'll see you next year.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really cool opportunity that I know kind of came to the surface, the day before. But yeah, it just kind of really opened up a light to the possibility that we could do with 11.7. And like Jack mentioned, give us a call, because if we were to, throw out, hey, give us a weekend that you would love to showcase your program, whether you're playing your rival, whether you're playing, a Power 4 team that's coming to you, or if you're a Power 4 program that wants 11.7 there. Like, Ben has experience being color. Jack has experience doing play-by-play. I would be filming a lot of what they're doing on the field and interacting, and then we would be doing a lot of pencil talk interviews like Jack does already. So it would just be a lot of promotional and just fun content that we'd be able to provide you guys as well, with just as much value as we think we'd get out of it too. So yeah, it'd be very fun.
Yeah, no, I think those are all really good ideas, and we'll see where it takes us. Maybe we did a terrible job and nobody ever wants us to do it. That's fine. That was just some ideas that we're coming across. We're getting some good opportunities coming across our tables, and we're not. I don't want to say we're unprepared for these opportunities, but like it's a last minute, like let's just do it and see what happens. And I think it turned out really well. But anyway, so we spent 25 minutes pre-show. Now we got to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. It's going to be a little bit longer than most episodes, which is fine. Like we're going to have, you can watch 20 minutes of the podcast, go do something. Come back, listen to it, whatever you want to do. It's going to be relevant all week this week. You don't have to worry about crunching this in the next 48 hours if you don't want to.
It'll be timestamped too.
It'll be timestamped. We'll do a good job with this. So, Dimitri, let's go ahead and go to the first conference tournament. You're going to share your screen, right, and bring up the bracket. We'll talk about the bracket.
Did you share your idea that we're going to do at the end?
Oh, yeah. At the very end, this will be a treat for the listeners. All four of us are going to make a guarantee on a team in a conference tournament, no more than 8 teams. So 8 teams or less. We're going to make a guarantee that one of those teams will not win the conference tournament. So, for example, if I'm like, I guarantee the Rice Owls will not win the American Athletic Conference tournament, and they do, guarantee the next episode. It'll be a blast.
That's great stuff for Rice because they can just clip out that 6-second video. They don't even have to show your face, and they'll be able to throw it through a highlight loop of them winning the American Athletic Conference tournament, and boom, that's what is going to happen. So any social media creative teams that are out there and listening, there you go.
So we'll announce those at the very end.
Speaking it's a very warm experience. So I hope you lose one of them because it's a fun experience to push yourself.
Yep.
And then it might turn into a we'll release both videos if the Vols win the national championship.
Here we go. Northeast A10. Sorry.
All right, A10 tournament starts on Tuesday. It is in Tysons, Virginia, just right down the road from where Jack's living at. And it is a 7-team tournament. Number 1 overall seed, Rhode Island. Congratulations on winning the A10. They pulled it out second to last day of the season over George Mason. The 7 teams, Rhode Island the 1, George Mason 2, St. Louis 3, Davidson 4, St. Joseph's 5, Fordham 6, and Dayton 7. It's being played at Capital One Park. Jack, we're going to start with you because you've actually been to this ballpark before. Break down the A10 tournament. Talk to us about who you think is live and try to mention somebody else other than George Mason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know who is playing in it, to be completely honest with you. It might as well just be one, to be honest with you. Not really sure if you guys can hear me, but it's all cool. It's a really cool ballpark. Tyson's Corner's right down the street from the Monuments. George Mason's going to win this tournament. I was trying to figure out my Shannon Sharp Lakers in 5 pun, but it's really not even worth my time. Rhode Island's got a fantastic ball club, but Owen Hall, James Quinn Iron and Company. You asked me to talk more about this tournament, but I refused to do so. I'd like to plead the 5th as it's going to be George Mason, George Mason, George Mason. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I'm also on George Mason. I do think that the pitching staff has done a much better job the last 10 games or so, and the offense is a little bit more trustworthy. I think it's going to come down to Rhode Island versus George Mason, and even though Rhode Island does get a bye, they won't see each other for 3 rounds. So it's going to be like George Mason's number 3 versus Rhode Island's number 2, whatever.
Jack, I gave you and the George Mason Patriots a chance in the preseason. I was going to go with my team preseason. I didn't do it, and they ended up winning the damn thing. So you know what? Fuck the George Mason Patriots. I'm taking the Rhode Island Ram, and they are going to win this thing with a bye. You never fade the facility when they get a bye.
They're not at their facility, though.
I know. It's down the street from George Mason.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's cool, man. Geography's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Geography's not for everybody. and I'm sorry that having a Golden Spikes candidate is a problem, and having the number 1 offense in the country is an issue. But I'm with you, dude. Geography is an issue for me as well. So
no. You're missing the point. Don't fade the facility. In this case, does not mean the home team, because guess what? None of these teams are the home team. So
no, wait, hold on. So you're putting on the record. You're putting on the record that this is not a home game for the team that can ride a bicycle to the ballpark? Is that what we're referring to?
Is this their actual home field?
No,
it's not.
So maybe you're the one that
But
needs to.
You were the one that said don't fade the facility and took Rhode Island.
Correct, because they are in a conference tournament. They're the number one
No
seed. They are the team, and they have a first round bye. Don't fade the.
I tried, and I tried so hard. I tried so hard not to talk about the tournament because I knew that I could do this. Keep it reeled in for me, boys. Keep it reeled
Give
in.
me the Ram. Give me the roadie Ram. Too easy.
I was really pulling for Richmond. My college roommate is their Dobo. They didn't qualify for the tournament here, so I have to go with George
That's
Mason.
unfortunate.
So, yeah, they were like the preseason favorite or number 2 in this conference. So,
Now,
Yeah, isn't that?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no. Did someone like before we jumped on say they were going to take Richmond to win this tournament? I couldn't remember.
well,
Did someone say that?
I wasn't aware that they didn't even make the conference tournament. I didn't look at the bracket. Dude, it's impossible to actually prepare for. It's 27 conference tournaments.
Noah, let me make something abundantly clear. Noah, let me make something abundantly clear. Abundantly clear. There are going to be 26 tournaments that we talk about in the next hour and a half.
Yep.
I'm going to know little to nothing about most of them. I just needed you to ride with me. And I just said,
I picked George Mason.
lick a cat, find a rat, need big bats, Pats in 5. I told you. Take them. Who cares? No stats, no standings, just the Pats.
Noah, I don't know if you're aware of the phrase, but you might be the new face of this phrase. You don't know ball, man.
Here we go.
Pats in 5?
There we go. Yeah.
You don't want them to win in 4?
No, I want them to face a little adversity.
I'm taking the Pats in 4.
Roadie in 3, dude.
I'm taking the Pats. I'm taking the Pats in 7.
Okay.
That might be an issue.
All the way down, all the way through the losers bracket.
You guys
7 could be a problem.
On to the next one.
All right, on to the next one. ACC Tournament in Durham. DBAP. This is a 12-team bracket. No, 14-team bracket. Something stupid like this. Single elimination. 14 teams get invited. Wow. Clap it up for those 14 teams. Wow. 1 through 4 get a double bye. So that's Georgia Tech, NC State, Florida State, North Carolina.
Did you say 14? 16 got invited.
16. All 16 teams got invited. I forgot that.
Literally said number 16, California.
All right. Listen.
Hey guys, can we take a 15-second? I felt a lot of hostility, and I'm sure I brought a lot of it as well. We're on the same team here. Can we go back and be on the same team?
All right, I'll agree to that.
Yeah, I was really just talking to me and Dimitri. Let's find some love. Let's go. And then they were being mean to you and just trickling down. ACC, right. Ben, take us home.
ACC team or ACC tournament. 16 teams. Everybody gets invited. Wow, everybody gets a trophy here. It's going to be tough for 9 through 16 to win this tournament. You got to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 5 days. That's tough. But the 5 through 8 do get a bye, and 1 through 4 get a double bye. This starts on Tuesday. So 9 a.m. Tuesday, Miami versus Cal, all the way through championship Sunday. Championship. Scroll up real fast. Is it Sunday or Saturday? Championship Sunday. Wow. We know this tournament's going to get rain. It always does. We'll be finishing games at 2 a.m. I'll make my pick here first. I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers at a 5 seed. I like the path. They play the winner of Virginia Tech, Stanford. Then they play NC State, and then they get Georgia Tech. I just think the bottom part of that bracket is way more dangerous than that top part because you get Florida State, North Carolina, Virginia, Duke in that bottom half, and you also get Louisville and Notre Dame down there too. That top half is much more sustainable. So give me Clemson going for 5 points here.
Jack, you went second last tournament. You can go second again.
We're on the same team now.
Wrong. He went first.
I tried so hard. We lasted 15 seconds.
right,
I
I'll
let it
go.
off because of my alumni. Not
I'll go.
Scott. I'm going to kiss you on the mouth, Fredo style.
the new tournament format is heartbreaking because those that have followed me for more than just this year with 11.7 know that I curated the ACC tournament format. Like the game that everybody hated, I loved it and I was zoned in and watching. When there was an 0-1 team that was already eliminated in pool play and had nothing to play for, I was betting on the other team because they were playing for something in those games. So this is why the tournament was eliminated with that format. In 2017, the teams that already had a loss that were lower seeded that couldn't get in due to tiebreaker, 3-0. 2018, 3-1. 2019, 2-1. The one losing year where the higher seeded teams or the teams that didn't have a loss yet was 1-2 in 2021. 22 was 3-0. 23 was 4-0. And 24 was 3-0. I'm going to lose a lot of positive investment opportunities without the old ACC tournament format, which is why I'm saying thank you to the Big Ten for introducing that tournament. So I do have a tournament that I can do it on. But with that said, my pick is Duke. In Durham, first off, they're sleeping in their own beds. It's an outstanding hitter's park. It's got one of the highest park factors in minor league baseball. That's not like already inflated due to like the West Coast and the those leagues in minor leagues. The Blue Devils have a really good combination of power hitting and power pitching that's going to get strikeouts and also kind of limits their walks in the same way. So if teams aren't putting the ball in play against you as much, there's less of an opportunity for the big fly. And if Duke's also hitting those big flies, I like their chances. So the one hurdle that Ben mentioned was they will play Jamie Arnold in Florida State on Friday. So win that game, and I like them. But, yeah, that's the hurdle.
Very simple, gentlemen. You never fade the Wolfpack and the Diamond Heels in this tournament. You never fade the Wolfpack and the Diamond Heel. Pack 9, Carolina Diamond Heel. You never fade them in this tournament. Give me the baby blue Carolina Tar Heels to win this tournament. I think it's a pretty easy pick here.
Yeah. What do you mean an easy? All right, we're on the same team, but like, how are you going to say an easy pick?
Well, how could you say another rule, but like, don't fade the facility of the team that has to travel 6 miles to play at that facility? You know what I mean?
And he faded Duke here too.
I will say this, man. I do really like Duke. I had two teams that I absolutely loved, and then the seeding rolled out, and I wasn't necessarily in love with Duke anymore. No, I was going to take him because 7 is my lucky number. Saw these guys last week, and I think they have a lot to play for. I think they're trying to improve their seeding going into next week. Love Wake Forest in that 8 spot. Love them. Fell in love with that offense. Seeing them last Tuesday against High Point. I know they lost that baseball game. There's a lot of arms. Like there's a lot of depth that they didn't necessarily have. They're in love with their freshman class on the mound, and I won't bore you with all the names, but I'm telling you, this is a Wake Forest team that I could see really do some damage in this tourney. I love them the 8. Love the matchup against Georgia Tech. They have success against them earlier this season. I'll take Wake Forest.
Hey, I have a question for you guys. Does any of those teams in the 9 to 16 range make a semifinal?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Miami could. They could beat my Wake Forest team.
Yeah.
Well,
I could see somebody like Notre Dame getting really hot.
They're not getting through Virginia, North Carolina. No way.
They could.
I think so. Here's an interesting note. California played Boston College at home on Saturday. They're traveling probably today. They probably traveled all day today to Durham. Practice tomorrow. Play a 6 a.m. Pacific time game against Miami on game 1.
Brutal.
They're going to lose that game.
Game 2, if they win game 1, would be at 6 a.m. too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Cal, thanks for coming. Thanks for playing, but go ahead and fly back. And, yeah, Stanford.
Hope there's room on Cal's plane. You guys can bunk up the other.
Yeah. So those are pretty much the two teams that in Boston College and Pitt. 4 teams are playing for absolutely nothing in this conference except for an automatic bid. That's all they've got. Everybody else has got some stock to improve.
All right, let's go to the next conference. I'm excited to see which one he pulls up next. Who we got next?
We've got. It's because the this one is the image and not a PDF, so it changed windows. Sorry about that.
Nice. All right, so we got the America East Conference. It is 6 teams. Bryant wins the conference regular season. They're the 1. NJIT, America's team from 2021, is the 2. And then Maine, Albany, Binghamton, UMBC fill out the rest in that single elimination. So it looks like a single elimination that first round on Wednesday, and then it starts double elimination Thursday. I will start off and say I will take NJIT. I think there's a lot of value there with them as a 2 seed. They've won the tournament before, and I'm looking for multiple points.
I'll go simple. I'll go 1 seed. I'll go Bryant. It used to be Bryant NEC, who typically ran the conferences. And they've got 3 starting pitchers with ERAs sub 5.15. It's something that not many teams in this tournament field are going to be able to match. So Dimitri's calling timeout on me.
We need to set an order here. Ben is going to go first every turn.
I went second last time.
Literally.
Okay. Ben first, Noah second. The long runner-up actually goes third, and I'll go fourth. Perfect.
Okay. So on the record, you want the one order that we haven't done yet to be the order that we do throughout, right?
Correct.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. I'm down. So I'm third now.
You're hitting
Well, I don't know
3.
if you will pick.
Yeah. Never been a 3-hole hitter in my life. This feels nice. Appreciate it, Coach.
I've never been a leadoff hitter in my life.
I actually did some homework on this team because this is a team that I was invested in because there's a kid that's got the same last name. They're the preseason pick. It's chalkity chalk. Give me Bryant. Drew Wires hit 422 for them this year. I couldn't do that if I played against the local 12U team at the rec department down the road. That's unbelievable. And how about Cam Papetti? His last 7 hits as the Bulldogs have all been home runs. Feed me Bryant. Feed me this offense. 7 hits, 7 bombs. Love that. Give me Bryant.
This is like rule number 69 or something on the 11.7 podcast. You don't fade Bryant in the Northeast Conference.
This is not the Northeast Conference, though.
America East.
Dimitri, I literally said it before Jack talked. I don't know what's going on. This is not a Dimitri night. It's just not.
I got to tell you, we're 44 minutes in. We're 3 picks in. You've made up 4 different rules for every round. I cannot wait for the next one.
This is an all-time performance right now.
All-timer.
Oh, my God.
You won't get this anywhere else. Also, shout out to Northeast Delta Dental for sponsoring this tournament, and Jersey Mike's down there in the bottom right.
That's big time. Jersey Mike's is on the sponsor. Let's go.
Stupid Northeast Delta threw me off. I don't know why. Anyway, Rule 69 is you don't fade Bryant in the America East Conference.
All right. The next conference here, in fact, so everybody picked Bryant but me, correct? I'm keeping track on the notebook.
Why are they bracketing like this? It's just
so
2 pools.
It's
just 2 pools. What is this?
Yeah, so this is the American Baseball Conference, or American Athletic Conference. Wow. And I was looking at this bracket earlier today. I still don't understand it.
It's a regional, super regional format, and they make it look like this.
Yeah, this is stupid. All right. So the American Conference is playing 4 games on Tuesday. And this is how my brain, when I looked at it earlier today, 2 hours ago, I looked at it and I was like, I'm just going to wing it when I get here.
Here,
8 teams make it. 8 teams make it. And apparently it's 2 regional formats. 4 games on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. And then somehow we get 4 on Saturday, which I've never seen this structure. Usually it's like 4-4, then like 2-2-2-1 or whatever. But we get 4-2-2-2, 4-1. It still doesn't make sense to me. Guys, explain how we're going to have 4 games on Saturday and then just 1 game on Sunday.
If necessary. The bottom 2 games are only if necessary.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, how are we going to have on Saturday have 8 teams like still playing? Is there a consolation bracket?
It's 2 regional,
like in a regional, like if they lose the game 6, then you have
I didn't
to do
read
the
the if necessary part and the like size 2 font down there. Sorry.
Can I say
Ben knows more college baseball than a lot of people. To confuse this bracket enough to make him not even understand it is an impossibly hard task.
Yeah.
No, you guys are missing the biggest point here. We ragged on him. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning over there. Dimitri got back on the ship and he threw his fastball and he ran the ball through the A gap. Round of applause for Dimitri to get going. I know we're ragging on each other. I want to be a cohesive family during this round. It's the best episode of the year. Dimitri, nice catch. That's big. I love that.
Good stuff. I'm going to make a personal guarantee that UTSA does not win this tournament. I think that they have nothing to play for here. Like they're not even playing for a regional host spot. I think they're going to use this time to like get their guys that need rest, and I don't think they're going to play to win it. So give me who I think is the second best team in this conference. I'll take the Charlotte 49ers. As the 2 seed.
Sorry, I was on mute. So you said guarantee. Are you not guaranteeing this?
Well, I will guarantee that we're all going to pick a 1 seed that we're guaranteeing not to win the conference tournament, and this will be mine.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't mention that at the beginning of the pod, but yeah, at the end.
Yes, we did. Oh, I'm sorry. We did pre-show, not on show.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
So we're doing a guarantee, but also we are naming a 1 seed that we don't think will win the conference.
Right. I'm sorry, Noah. I've been a little snappy at you lately. I apologize. You don't deserve it at all.
I was trying to bring the family vibes. I even gave a compliment to Dimitri. He didn't even say anything. I'm trying to get vibes back for us, boys.
I like Florida Atlantic. That's going to be my pick here. They've got a really good balance outside of UTSA, which I think Ben makes good points about. Roadrunners are a very solid team, but if they're not going to submit to host, does Hallmark maybe pull back the reins a little bit? Let's see what we've got in some possible arms that we may have to start in a regional game if we get to game 5, game 6, or game 4, game 5 in a weekend. So I like the Owls. I think there's something to play for there. I could see them trotting back out Trey Beard at the end of this thing in their championship game after the pool play. So I like FAU.
The format of this is actually nice. Like Tuesday, Sunday, you can throw your ace Sunday for the championship.
It's MLB rest.
Yep. Before Jack goes here, I want to just throw a conspiracy out that you know me, I'm a big college baseball conspiracy guy. I do think that conferences that are like they have a team that's locked in to make a regional. I swear the umpires conspire, whether it's drop down on them from the league to like, let's get another team in the tournament. And they try to find ways, any ways possible to get that automatic team out of there. UTSA will already be in the regionals. Let's get a second team in the regionals.
Look at the past 2 seasons with Tulane. They seem to really like to play down here in Clearwater. So,
well, thank you for using that as my segue because I will be picking Tulane in the 5 seed. The 3-peat is evident. They actually had the Saints defensive line out at practice the other day taking BP. I'm not sure if y'all saw that social. It was like Cam Jordan, Brian Brzee, like flexing through Tulane jerseys. It was dope as hell. So I think they bull rushed themselves to a 3-peat. Give me Tulane.
Tulane is a great pick here. They know how to win in Clearwater. But you guys are all sleeping on that one team that nobody's going to expect anything from. They've been there. They've done that. They're the guy. He is going to show the world why he is one of the best coaches in college baseball. Just had a rough year. Give me the East Carolina Pirates.
I love it.
Is expecting them to win this tournament, and gentlemen, I'm telling you, they're going to win this thing.
I like that.
I was going to be shocked if none of us picked ECU. They would have been my second choice. You're right. You hit the nail on the head, Dimitri. The first round matchup scared me a little bit, though, with South Florida. South Florida is going to be fine.
There has been no buzz still outside of the 11.7 podcast that Cliff Godwin has any interest in that Mississippi State job, which is why it still might be really dangerous that he could jump after this year, after kind of the turmoil that they've endured and his comments to the media. In college basketball, handicapping a lot of these conference tournaments, those coaches that possibly could be, on a lot of conversation or AD's minds for jobs, they don't really perform well because this is the time of the year where those ADs are contacting coaches.
Yep.
Cliff Godwin ain't going nowhere.
All right, we'll see.
He ain't going nowhere.
All right. So we all picked different teams here, and nobody picked the 1 seed, so that's nice. I will put a personal guarantee now that South Florida or Rice or whoever the other team was is going to win the tournament now. Wichita State. All right, we'll go to the
You just
ASUN.
picked 4 teams.
Well, I'm saying it's going to be one of the teams that we didn't pick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without question, yeah.
Yeah, we picked 4 different teams, all with multiple points involved. But all right, the ASUN tournament, it just there's death, taxes, and then if you want to go viral on social media, you can either post the Appalachian State baseball field that is always goes viral on social media, the BYU field that always goes viral on social media, or you can post the ASUN bracket, which always goes viral on social media. It is
the old ASUN tournament.
the old ASUN bracket. You're right. They did switch it. It is double elimination. 8 teams make it, and it is led by the Austin P Governors. And so Jack and I rooting on Austin P. Dimitri and Noah rooting harder for Stetson. Do we need to take much time on this? Are we going to pick anybody besides Austin P or Stetson?
Give me. Ha! Got him! I had you listening, you dumb fuck. Give me the Stetson Hatters.
I did. I kind of thought he was going to go Jacksonville to fade everybody. You got me. It's fair.
I'm taking Austin P.
I had Stetson in Omaha in the preseason. They need to win the ASUN tournament to get there, and I knew that when I picked them to win it in the or to get to Omaha in the preseason. So let's go Hatters.
All right. We're getting to the good stuff now.
All right, Big 12 tournament. Single elimination all the way through at Globe Life Park. And it starts – top 4 teams get a bye. So West Virginia wins the league. Kansas, who just swept West Virginia, is the 2 seed. TCU 3, Arizona 4. And then 5 plays 12, 6 plays 10, all the way – or 6 plays 11, 8 versus 9, and 7 versus 10. I think this type of tournament, you can see a much lower seed win it. I don't think there's a huge advantage to that first round bye. And we see every year the Big 12 always has a team just go on a run out of nowhere, get red hot, and win this tournament. And then that's the team you need to bet on in the regionals and super regionals to get to Omaha. I am going to think outside the box here. I do love that Kansas and TCU down at the bottom is a 2 and a 3, but I'm going to pick from a team up top to get hot and win the tournament, and that's the Arizona State Sun Devils. They haven't they have shown signs this year of playing elite level baseball, but then immediately they fall off. But that's the type of team that I'm looking for in a conference tournament that can put 4 games together and get hot and use it the rest of the year. So give me Arizona State as a team, not only to win this tournament, but also to win a regional.
Yeah, boys. Where I began the year was this stadium, Globe Life, and I saw a Big 12 team that absolutely lit it up, and they made a huge statement offensively during that weekend. I came away liking Oklahoma State. They finished 13th in the conference in batting average in the Big 12. Globe Life is a pitcher's park. It's not like a hitter's paradise whatsoever. And they have the number 1 staff ERA in the conference by 60 points. Guys, stick the Pokes back into a familiar building where they've played really well, really good baseball. They beat Clemson that weekend. I like Oklahoma State here to make a little bit of a run. And it's a tournament that's going to allow teams to really kind of structure their pitching staff well. They've really figured something out in that weekend rotation of Harrison Bodendorf, who might win Big 12 Pitcher of the Year. That's probably going to get released tomorrow. And then Mario Pesca, who is a St. John's transfer, and then Sean Youngerman in that 3. And there's plenty of depth here. I like the pitching staff, and I think the bats could get hot in a familiar stadium.
Good pick. Really good pick.
That was a big brain pick by Noah right there.
I really liked them too because it feels. I don't know. Y'all obviously know the bracketology stuff far better than I do. They need it. Like, do they need to go on a little run here? Or are they safely in?
They need to win.
They need a win. They need at least a win.
Yeah, that's why I really like them. I also think the matchups are really good to get to a semi and to compete. But I'm going to ride the team that I've ridden all year. I love TCU. I like them a lot. I think that from a seeding standpoint, they need to play really well to not end up stranded at a really tough spot. So I love the Horned Frogs here.
Yeah, TCU's in a spot where if they make the championship game or win it, they're going to host a regional.
And like, how big would that be, right? Like, to go from not having to be the 2 at Texas to get into play at home, like, their run back to Omaha like they were in 23 is really riding on this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say like you wouldn't even want to go to Alex Box and be a 2 seed in the LSU regional either.
Yeah, shit.
So
yeah.
Ben already mentioned Arizona State. I think they're going to be a very tough out in the postseason. They've been a very inconsistent team this year, but I think they're one of the more talented teams in the country, just top to bottom. I think they've got a lot of star power. I like them up there. I think that Arizona State game is going to be really intriguing from an at-large perspective because most of these teams are in, but they can really hurt themselves with bad performances this week in Globe Life. Noah's got me sold on Oklahoma State. West Virginia's playing like dog shit. They've won 5 out of their last 6.
they're 2-9 since they cranked the Hog Boys.
Since they cranked the Hog in center field, they're 2-9. You know what that means? I don't know what it means, but some of you guys might know what it means.
It means it's time to churn the butter in Morgantown, if you know what I mean.
I didn't know that.
I just made that up. I don't know either.
You know what? Dude, Noah, don't do this to me. I pick Oklahoma State every postseason, and they fail me every single time. I like that little Cincinnati, Texas Tech area. You win that game, you beat West Virginia, you get Arizona and Arizona State, who are not the greatest pitching team, and you're in the Big 12 championship game. Give me the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Oh,
At the
I love
AC.
it. You guys have to admit that top half of the bracket is way more gettable than that bottom half.
definitely.
I mean, even Kansas State's dangerous. They won the tournament last year, played lights out. Or Oklahoma State was my second pick to make a run here. And then Kansas and TCU playing much better baseball than West Virginia, Arizona. So I like the Cincy pick.
Dude,
I win.
Wait, time out. Would it surprise you if Texas Tech just wins this tournament and gets in?
I mean, I'm telling you. I really think that game is going to be. I've seen it happen before. When teams like West Virginia had an unbelievable season, they start playing bad at the end of the year. It carries over into the tournament, and then they go 2-barbecue in the regional. I've seen this happen so many times. And I think Texas Tech got everything to play for. I think Cincinnati's got something to play for too. They have a really good team this year. So I think if I get 8 points from the Cincinnati win right here, I'm winning the whole damn thing if I get an 8 points from this. So on to the next one.
On to the next one. What do we got? All right, we got the this is always our favorite. Prasco Park Big East tournament. 4 teams, 3 of them looking really good for an at-large / regional bid. Creighton is the 1, UConn 2, Xavier 3, St. John's 4. If you live in and around the Mason, Cincinnati area, go to this tournament. They do such a good job. It's free entry, free food. Stadium is unique and cool, and it's a lot of fun if you can't make it to watch on FS1, FS2. So it's traditional double elimination. This is literally a regional. I'm going to go – I've been on Creighton all year, so I would be silly to hop off them now. I'm going to go with Creighton. They get an easier first-round matchup. That UConn versus Xavier first-round matchup is going to be a dogfight, and I'll take Creighton as the 1.
I am going to go with – I'm going to go UConn. They don't dominate this tournament per se. They've lost the last 2. But I think that, like, if things don't go their way, UConn could find themselves on the wrong side of the bubble. And I have a lot of faith that UConn's going to be playing postseason baseball in June. So one way or another, the Huskies are going to get there. I think they just take it out of the committee's hands. Give me UConn.
We've done a good job.
I 100%. Oh, sorry.
Dude, he even –
I tried. I saw him winding up for it. It's okay. Hey, we're okay. We're good. We're on the same page. I took UConn in my Omaha 8 at the beginning of the year, and then we all laughed at it a month later. And I was like, I'm going to stray away from this. I'm going to take Coastal to get to Omaha. But, like, we do know that, like, UConn's going to make a run, right? And then 2 weeks after that, we were like, they're still not coming. Maybe this just isn't the year. And guess what? They're right back in it. They're the co-regular season champions, and UConn warmed up with the weather like they always do. I'll take UConn. Caleb Spur just broke their single-season stolen base record. I think that type of baseball always plays this type of season. A lot of pressure in a regional-type format like this one. So I love the Huskies. And you're right. Xavier beats them that first game. Not to say that they're dead to rights, but, like, to me, Creighton's safely in. So it goes back to who needs it versus who wants it. I think, to me, that championship game is going to be on day 1 between UConn and Xavier.
Hey, Jack, between the Big 12 tournament and the Big East tournament, which press box has more pencil sharpeners?
I don't know, but if someone from either department can give me a call, let me know. That'll be where I head.
Hey, guess what? I know of a writing utensil that you don't need a pencil sharpener to use it. It's called a pen. You can bring it with you, and if there's no pencil sharpener, you can still use a pen.
The pencil sharpener is just a lure, like, to get the pencil man to the area. He smells it from miles and hundreds of miles away.
I've been on Xavier all year on Xavier. I thought they were the best team coming in. They played a hell of a schedule, and they're kind of on the negative side of it. Noah and I, we all had Xavier in as the last 4 team in. I think if they lose this game to UConn, if they go 2-out in this tournament, they will be out. Even 1-2, because that win over St. John's will do absolutely nothing for them. So I think if Xavier goes 1-2, they will be missing the postseason. So I do think this is the time of the year you do not fade UConn. I think everyone has learned that by now. You just do not fade the Huskies at this time of the year. So I'm having a really hard time with this one.
Stemming off of what Dimitri just said there, sorry to interrupt, like, a couple of these teams are quad 1 games. Like UConn and Xavier, I believe, are quad 1s for neutral top 40.
Yep.
So interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think Xavier has to win one of these games outside of St. John's to even have to stay alive for their at-large bid. With all that being said, I just can't fade UConn this time of the year. Give me the Husky.
Dude, you let it off. This is why pencils are better than pens. I already wrote Xavier down because you gave us a 2-minute monologue about how you love Xavier.
I love being.
Now I got to scratch it out and write UConn.
I love how both Dimitri and Ben are doing the same job, and it took us.
Are you doing it too?
To figure out.
Dude, of course I'm doing it. Who do you think does the graphic?
I was doing it to help you out.
All right, let's figure out who's doing this now.
I want you to keep writing.
All right, fair enough. All right, bring up the next tournament. Bring it up.
Dimitri's already doing enough over there with the graphics and everything.
Big South tournament. It starts on Wednesday, and it looks like there's 6 teams that make it. USC Upstate wins the conference this year. They're the 1 seed. They get a bye. High Point comes in second. They're 2 seed. They get a bye. And then 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. That's Charleston Southern, Radford, Winthrop, Presbyterian. Radford and Winthrop will be playing against each other, and then Charleston Southern versus Presbyterian round 1. And it looks like it's a double elimination tournament. I'll make it quick and easy. I'm not fading High Point. I love Coach Hammond too much. Can't do it. Derek Orendorff, the Liberty legend. Look, they won it last year. They'll win it this year.
I am in agreement with Ben. When you get these double elimination tournament style formats, the later you get, it tends to favor the offenses. And High Point's got a really good one over there. 7 guys that are batting over 330 with a 1,000 OPS. That's just really hard to find at all levels of college baseball, let alone here in the Big South. And plus, they're hosting the tournament, so I'll take High Point as well.
Well, they're hosting it at the minor league field in High Point, the High Point Rockers.
They're sleeping in their own beds.
They're sleeping in their own bed. And I forgot to give my flowers to the USC Upstate first-year head coach, Kane Sweeney, who it's crazy. He's my age. We played against each other in the OVC. And he takes a team with his brother as the leading hitter of the team, his little brother as a leading hitter, and wins the Big South in year number 1. So congrats to them. I should have led this off with that. They would be a good pick, and they'd be dangerous in a regional too.
They throw it super well, man. Their pitching staff is really, really dynamite. And to be able to coach your brother really is like someone should do a Disney movie about that. With that being said, I want to clear the air with something. I am a proud Charleston Southern alum. We never even snuffed 500, but I worked for the College of Charleston. I call games at the Citadel. I wanted it on the record. I'm a proud CSU alum. With that being said, High Point's going to win this tournament. It's really not going to be close. Joey Hammond is an absolute monster of a human being. Miggy Echazareta leading the country in walks. This is one of, if not the most well-rounded offenses in all of college baseball. Not mid-major, said all of college baseball. The things that they're doing behind the scenes, getting to learn the analytics and how operationally, yes, they play with a ton of pride. Not sure if you guys saw the video I did where they absolutely practiced tarpless. Some guys actually didn't even show up with shorts on. They are that type of culture, plus some really cool analytic-driven stuff led by the guy Derek Orendorff. So awesome story to Upstate. That guy's got an insanely bright future in the sport. But the now is High Point. Remember, they had Clemson on the ropes. They had Vandy. Coastal right there, too. This is a High Point team that's a pitch or 2 away from seriously winning a regional championship. They got vengeance on their mind. Give me the Thurs.
I guess you guys are all, again, a great story. There's a team in this bracket that's never made a regional before in school history. They're coming off a regular season title because they were the best team, not High Point. You guys keep talking about this High Point purple team that's the best team. Nah, they didn't even win the conference. Give me the USC Upstate Spartan. Never been to a regional. They're going to slam that door down this year, and they're going to win this thing.
That's true. And remember, Upstate boat raced High Point on national television. Boat race.
Thank you for being an upstanding man, an honest man.
On ESPN national television. Boat raced them. Be a damn shame if High Point hadn't been, counting down the days until they got them again. But
Noah, who did you pick?
I took High Point.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Like a square.
I mean, there are rumors that we created the rule with seeding because of me competing in this. So that way, if I take all the 1 seeds or 2 seeds, I don't get many points.
Yep. All right. Big Ten tournament here in Omaha, Nebraska, TD Ameritrade Park, Charles Schwab Field. Forgot they changed that on us a couple years ago. But anyways, they're doing the old ACC format. This is the one where Noah loves to bet on the teams, like he mentioned earlier, that have no business playing in the games.
It's an 85% betting.
Oh, yeah. It's apparently easy money.
Yeah.
But there's 4 pools: Pool A, B, C, D. Winner of each pool moves into the semifinal, single elimination there. Win 2 games, you're in. So Pool A is Oregon, Nebraska, and Michigan State, which is low-key a gauntlet with the talent there. Pool B, UCLA, Michigan, Illinois. Pool C, Iowa, Indiana, Rutgers. Pool D, USC, Washington, and Penn State. Oregon wins the conference. They share it, but win the tiebreaker over UCLA. We saw Iowa. They had the lead all year in the conference, and they end up finishing 3rd. The pool play stuff really messes with my head. I like it more than I don't like it because you do get guaranteed 2 games for everybody.
Yeah, it makes the trip worthwhile.
Makes the trip worthwhile. It's right in the heart, like right in the middle of all of these teams. So I think my pick is going to be like depth-wise, and it can't be like it's not going to be high-scoring games. Usually the wind will be blowing in, and that's a big field. I'll take the team that I trust the pitching staff the most, and that'll be UCLA. Give me UCLA as the 2.
So when I think of the Big Ten tournament in Omaha, there are 4 teams, and 2 of the teams are like mainly because of the fan bases, but there are 4 teams that feel really comfortable playing in Omaha and make deep runs in the Big Ten tournament every single year. The first one's Maryland. They're not here. They had a rough year. The second one's Nebraska. And like Ben said, that Pool A is a gauntlet. I mean, thoughts and prayers to whoever sees Jerwa from Michigan State, because the Sparty's winning that game. But the 3rd and 4th teams that I think are really live to win this thing, Michigan always makes runs in Omaha. Don't know what it is. The fan base travels somewhat. It's still fresh on the mind of, hey, we're going back to Omaha where 2019 we were the runner-up. Let's go relive that trip. So Michigan usually travels well. Illinois, I will throw an honorable mention. Their fan base last year did really well because they won the regular season, and they went down there. And I think they were one of the first bounces, to be honest. But the team I'm going with is Iowa. They've got the most to play for. The fan base travels for this tournament. They draw Indiana and Rutgers. Indiana lacks the pitching. Rutgers, I think, lacks the hitting. Iowa, they dealt with some injuries that kind of went under the radar through the final 3 weeks of the season here. I think their pitching is good enough. I think they win the first 2 games. They get into that semifinals bracket. And from there, it's all out warfare. And I like the fans of Iowa to get them over the edge.
See, I actually, I'm with Ben here. This really overwhelms the piss out of me, to be completely honest. Noah, if I don't get a text on every single one of these 85% guys, I will pay you for them. But I want a text on every single one of them.
Okay.
Ride or die.
There's going to be like 3-ish opportunities. Sometimes 2, sometimes 4.
Well, I miss one. Throwing a temper tantrum. A big one. You're going to see pencils and pens unite.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be plugged in.
Say yes. I'm all in. Now, I do dispute your pick only because I actually had this one written down for no other reason than I just think it'd be really awesome to see Nebraska win it. I hate their matchups, which means that I absolutely have to take them because I hate winning. I'll take Nebraska. Give me the Huskers. Let's pack out the Chuck, baby.
Nebraska it is as the number 8 seed. Yeah. I'm having like this weird, like I'm just like overanalyzing this or not. But a team like USC, you're telling me they've got to get their Thursday. All their pitching is going to be well rested, but then they've got to win 4 straight to win this thing. And then if you look at a team like Michigan, they get Tuesday and Thursday. You find a way to win that Tuesday game, you're sitting pretty because you can go all out to win that Thursday game, and then you got a day off, and then you play your bracket play. You got to win 2. I really like that Tuesday, Thursday schedule. I do like UCLA Wednesday, Thursday schedule. I think UCLA needs to do some work here to secure their hosting bid. I think a team like USC should be safe right now, but they just can't go 2 and barbecue in this tournament. They need to win a game at least to be 100% safe. Oregon playing Thursday, Friday. I think Oregon is a slam dunk national seed. I don't think they really have much to play for in this. Maybe win one. I don't know. But it's UCLA. I kind of like this Michigan team. I think they always play well in this tournament. But at the end of the day, I think UCLA is going to get their revenge on Oregon. So give me the
my biggest thing, like if people want analysis on Michigan, they just don't have a dude. They've got 4 guys that they can trust on the mound, but they don't have a guy that's going to go out there on a Friday in a game 1 and win them a game. So that's my biggest hurdle with the Wolverines right now.
All right. Oh, baby, we got the good one. We got a good one, gentlemen. We got a good one. We're going to have to fill in the bracket here, but that's okay. Sorry,
it just
about
wrapped
that.
up today, so that's the context on filling in.
So it's the Big West, top 5 teams, first ever Big West tournament. It's hosted at Cal State Fullerton, and I know the seeds. Number 1 overall seed is the UC Irvine Anteaters. They win the conference regular season pretty handily, and they do get a bye. So they're the only team that gets a bye because number 2 and number 3 play, and then number 4 and 5 have a play-in game to face Irvine. The 2 seed is Cal Poly. The 3 seed is the home team, Cal State Fullerton. And that 4 versus 5 matchup just went final. It not went final, but they finally filled it in. It is Santa Barbara and Hawaii. And like that's going to be such an elite pitching matchup on Wednesday. I assume both teams are throwing their number 1s, but I'm going to just kind of go chalk here. I'm a believer in Irvine. They get a bye, and they didn't play well against Fullerton this past weekend. So it feels like they had their off week. They'll get regrouped and come out and win this one.
Worth noting too that number 4 versus number 5 game, that's just a single elimination. So whoever loses, thanks for coming out. See ya. It was a nice experience in the first Big West.
Yeah, Hawaii's gonna fly all the way back to the mainland to play one game.
Nuts. I like Cal Poly. I'm gonna go Stangs here. I think they've got also a really nice balance. And something that I've been texting the boys about with Irvine is offensively, I don't think they're in that same groove as they had maybe the first 10 weeks of the season. And I circle, like, ever since kind of Chase Call left that lineup, they've kind of lost their mojo. And I'm big on trying to find trends of how teams are playing and whatnot. And he hasn't played like the last 10 games, and that's when they've stumbled against UC San Diego and Fullerton. And I don't know if they're playing their best ball right now. So I'll go Cal Poly.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. That kid's such a leader, like insane ball player. But seeing him out in Arizona, had him on the pod, like he just has it. He has that aura, like he gives big league feel. Great analysis, Noah. I also I'm going to go quick on this one. Dimitri, you talked about it earlier. I think you're spot on. The idea, like teams that struggled on the stretch and into the postseason, that's worrisome, right? Like it is worrisome unless you have insane veteran leadership. And that's what they have. Even if Chase Call's sitting in that dugout, he's just as valuable. Remember that LSU team in 23 now. Pump your brakes. Like I'm not comparing LSU and UC Irvine, but I am talking about a group of dudes that have been on campus for that long, which is rare in today's landscape, right? I'll take UC Irvine. I think they get back. I think they get right. And I still absolutely stamp them as a team that can get to Omaha this year.
So UC Irvine, Jack?
Irvine. Chalkity chalk, chalk, chalk.
Guys. This is the first time I can remember in a while. Well, obviously, the Big West, this is the first year they've had an actual tournament. So kind of take back what I said. But I can totally see this week being the week that the Gauchos get back on track. Like, they've kind of just been up and down all year, showed flashes of being really good. They dominated Cal Poly that weekend. I was like, oh my God, this team might have figured it out. They might be back. They have some of the best pitching in this conference outside of Irvine. I think that if they get through that Hawaii game, that Thursday game is going to be Tyler Bremner versus Irvine's best. Irvine doesn't need it bad. Santa Barbara has to win this tournament to get in, pretty much. Give me the number 4 seed, Santa Barbara Gauchos.
Yeah, they have the pitching to do it. It's just, is the offense going to wake up in time?
Yep. I think this is going to be one of the more exciting conference tournaments. So excited. The Big West finally has a tournament.
They're all quality teams. It should be a blast.
Very quality team.
Hey, where is this tournament?
Fullerton, California, right down the road from UC Irvine. So pretty much a home game for Irvine too.
Nice. All right, what do we got next? Oh, the CAA tournament. So 6 teams. It's being hosted at College of Charleston. Northeastern on a 24-game win streak to end the season. They're the number 1 team. Absolutely obliterated competition in the CAA, only losing 2 games all year. UNCW, winners from last season's tournament, they are the 2 seed. They get a bye just like Northeastern. And then the host team, College of Charleston, will face off 4-5 matchup against William & Mary. Campbell is the 3. They finish strong. And then Elon sneaks in as the 6. I'm going to go chalk again. What Northeastern has done the last 40 games of the season is unbelievable. And I think the pitching is real. I don't think it's fake. I think they have a real 1-2-3 punch with guys in the bullpen that get it done. And then on top of that, like some of the guys that didn't step up for him last year that had preseason hype and things like that, the Cam Maldonados of the world, they're actually playing well. So, like, I would be silly not to go Northeastern here. So I'll take the 1 point as almost a free space.
I'm also going to take the 1 point for this point that I'm about to make. Last year, College of Charleston was in this exact same scenario for 40-plus mid-major team heading into a double elimination tournament. They lose 2 games, their RPI tanks. I do not want to see that situation happen again, where you have a Northeastern team with a RPI, whatever. We all know the nightmare scenario. That's why, sometimes a double elimination tournament's not the best thing. So I'm rooting for Northeastern, and their pitching is unbelievable. Their ERA is almost 90 points better than second place pitching staff in this conference. I'll go Huskies.
So you really think if they lose 2, they'd be out?
They're not out. I was just about to say Northeastern is 1,000% in the tournament.
The top 25 in the country. I understand your sentiment.
No, their RPI is top 25 too. They're fine.
Yeah. So that'd be a bummer. All right, here's the deal. I think we all know who I'm going to pick. But I'm going to tell you why. I need Mike Glavin, a guy that could have easily won that mid-major Coach of the Year award. Easily. I mean, what he has done up there, and he's had plenty of opportunities to leave. This is home. This is where he grew up. He is proud to wear that brand. They need to take a fall. They need to take a fall for the CAA. They have to. You want to get 2 teams in? Take a fall. Get 2 teams in. Make a stamp. Let's do this thing. I'll take College of Charleston as the 4 seed. It's an uphill battle. Jake Brink's nasty. Avery Neves, the 7th-year guy, won a national championship at Lynchburg. Give me the Cougs. I'd also like to propose this.
I think
Northeastern does win it. Northeastern does win it. And their RPI continues to climb. I would like to say the Boston Red Sox are on the road the first week of the regional.
I wonder. I don't even know if Northeastern submitted a bid. I don't think they did.
How do you even find
if
out?
they did it from Fenway, I would shake my pants. That would be awesome.
Usually when a team does submit a bid, the news comes out. If they don't submit a bid, you don't hear anything.
Wasn't that taken care of like a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
No, but you had to have submit a bid, I think, the beginning of the month, or like at least a week or 2 ago. Anyways, I love how Ben cherry picks this thing of, it's a one bid league. The 1 seed is going to get screwed over, and the 2 seed or 3 seed is going to get in this tournament. But he didn't use it this scenario because it's not the team that he wanted to get in. He only cherry picks this stupid conspiracy for when he needs to get another team in.
Hey, let's not talk about
using his logic.
That hits home too hard.
Using his logic, Northeastern's not going to win this tournament. And I'm just going to follow this logic. I think the other best team in this conference that had a dog shit year, but they have a very talented roster, is the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. And I think they're going to win this tournament. They give me the vibe of a team that had a terrible year. No pressure. They're going to roll into this tournament. They're going to make some noise, and I think they're going to win it. So give me the Seahawks.
Good pick. Yeah, this is a tournament I met Jack at 2 years ago. I met him in person for the first time. CAA tournament at College of Charleston. Yeah, but anyways, let's move to CUSA. We have an 8-team bracket. It looks like it's 2 regional styles. So 1, 4, 5, 8 in one bracket, 2, 3, 6, 7 in the other. Dallas Baptist wins the league. They're the number 1 team in the country, or sorry, not in the country, number 1 team in this tournament bracket. And it is being hosted at Liberty, who is their first round opponent. So Liberty is the 8th seed hosting Dallas Baptist. I think that's where this tournament might turn sideways. In fact, I think this is a tournament where we're going to see a bid stolen. Right now, only Dallas Baptist is safe. Everybody else is fighting for their lives. And I look at the top of the bracket, and I think it's much, much easier than the bottom half of the bracket. Bottom half has Dallas Baptist, Jacksonville State with flamethrowers, Louisiana Tech, really good team, well coached, and then Liberty, who we were high on the first half of the season. They fell off a cliff, but they still have a ton of midweek wins against ACC teams. That top half of the bracket looks pretty nice. If you're going to go out and win it, you get Kennesaw State, FIU, Western Kentucky, and New Mexico State. I'm gonna go with Western Kentucky, a team that is ice cold entering the tournament, but it's not too late to heat back up. And I hope this is a 2-bid league. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, Ben kind of took my handicap right from me. That seems like a really favorable draw for the tops. I don't think you could have really asked for a better pool, especially in a tournament that is going to keep you against those 3 teams. I know FIU swept them, but that's just even more motivation for the tops to get their lick back here in midweeks when, FIU might not be using some of that rotation that they saw earlier, or if they took good notes and have a better scouting report against the guys that they already saw. Like the lineup, possibly seeing them twice in a row. But this pitching staff is really good. You've got 3 guys that have all thrown 46-plus innings that have sub-3 ERA, and Drew Whalen, Jack Bennett, and Lucas Hartman. I'm going to go with Western Kentucky. I like their path.
I think if Liberty as a host who's got all the money in the world was smart, they'd find a way to just make new jerseys for DBU that have the ACC patch on them, and then they got a real shot to win that game. Shout out to Lucas Hartman. Big fan of the brand. So I'm a big fan of Western Kentucky. Hill toppers on top of that Liberty mountaintop.
I didn't laugh, but that was very funny, Jack.
That was good.
If there's a scenario, it's a very slim scenario, but there is a scenario where this can be a 3-bid league.
Good.
And I'm going to explain to you how. Dallas Baptist gets knocked out early. Louisiana Tech, Jacksonville State, and Liberty battle it out. One of those teams makes the championship game. Western Kentucky makes the championship game and lose the championship game. Their RPI will move up enough into the high 40s, low 30s. They will get in that large bid, depending on how big and small the bubble is. This could be a 3-bid league, and I think there's going to be a lot of chaos. I think Dallas Baptist they're not going to play hard this tournament. They're getting ready for regionals next week. So that bottom half of the bracket is wide open. The upper half, I think it's going to be Western Kentucky, but I really do think Kennesaw State and FIU have good teams. FIU plays really well at home. They don't play well on the road. So I'm going to take Western Kentucky on the top half of the bracket. And I think I'm going to take I think I'm going to take Louisiana Tech on the bottom half of the bracket. And I'm going to take Western Kentucky to win this
all
tournament.
four of us. Western Kentucky.
Yeah. Sorry, Western. You guys got no
sorry
shot
about
now.
I was not expecting that at all. By the way, Baptist is going to play hard. They need to play hard. They're on the bubble of potentially hosting.
I think it's too crowded this year, the hosting bubble. I don't think Dallas Baptist can get in the hosting picture.
I think they know that they can sniff the blood in the air and say, hey, we can still host. Especially
as long as you can tell your boys that we submitted a bid to host. We're playing to host.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. You can play that card, 100%.
All right, here we go. Horizon League. This print is so small. I know Wright State won the regular season because they win it every year. There we go.
Yeah.
It starts on Wednesday. 6 teams, 1 seed Wright State, 2 seed Northern Kentucky, 3 Milwaukee, 4 Youngstown, 5 Oakland, 6 Purdue Fort Wayne. 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, single elimination, and then it moves into a double elimination with those top 4 overall seeds. With those 4 seeds that advance. Is anybody picking anybody other than Wright State? Because if not, we can move past this.
Is it single elimination?
Yeah, there's a double.
No. It's a double elimination.
Is Wright State going to get beat twice? I don't think so.
On their home field?
No.
All right, let's move on.
I think so. I have Northern Kentucky. My hand.
No, Jack. Rule number 43 on this podcast is never fade Wright State.
And KU did win it last year, but they hosted the tournament. So,
All right. I like the Norse. I think Norses are cool, and I don't really even know what they are necessarily. Vikings or something. They're cool, and I did it at the beginning of the year, and you guys really made fun of me, so I got to see it.
That's enough. I get it. You're taking Northern Kentucky. We're moving on.
Let's move on. Hey, shout out to the kid from Purdue Fort Wayne, though. I forget his name. I tweeted about it. 4 home runs, walk-off grand slam, 8 RBIs, stolen base in the game. That was sweet to beat Wright State on Thursday. All right, here we go. The MAAC bracket, the MAAC, as we call it.
The MAAC.
This is all right, that's enough. Ryder wins the conference of the 1 seed, Fairfield the 2. They played this past weekend, and Ryder won the conference. So congrats to them. Now, Ryder and Fairfield both get a double bye. Siena and Sacred Heart get the single bye as the 3 and 4 seeds. And then Quinnipiac, Niagara, Mount St. Mary's, and Marist, they are the 5, 8, 6, and 7 seeds respectively, or whatever the phrase is there.
Respectively.
There we go. I'm not even looking on the left half of the screen. It's going to come down to Fairfield and Ryder for me. I'll take Ryder. I picked them to win the regular season. They did, so they didn't let me down. Not going to spend too much brain power on this. Ryder as the 1.
Nope. I'm just going to speak out of turn. Ryder.
Did you see how they won yesterday? It was 6. Senior day, they had a walk-off. Ryder.
I'll take the Titan as the 2 seed so I can get 2 points instead of 1 against you guys. I'll go Stags. Come on.
I ain't gone chalk in a while, but this is a fun one to get chalk for.
Let's move on.
All right. So now we've got the.
Give it to me, baby.
Ooh, baby. We got some lights, camera, action.
That's good.
This is Noah's favorite conference, MAAC baseball, being hosted at Crusher Stadium in Avon, Ohio. Miami, Ohio wins the league. Number 1 overall seed. Kent State finishes 2nd. They're the 2. They both get byes. And then 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. Traditional 6-team format. Double elimination. Ball State is the 3. Bowling Green 4. Toledo 5. Eastern Michigan 6. Miami, Ohio has been good to me all year. They've won me 3 Uber Eats bets. 2 from 2 from Noah, one against Dimitri. It's Miami, Ohio, all day, every day. Give him as the 1.
It's tough to go against Miami, Ohio. I like them a lot too after seeing them in person. Kind of brought me to the surface and to the light of that team and whatnot. But in MAAC tournaments, Kent State always makes runs. They are money. They are so money in MAAC tournaments. I'm going Golden Flashes. I think it's a quality team. This tournament I am so excited for. I think Miami, Ohio, Kent State, Ball State, and Bowling Green are all quality programs that could easily represent this conference and threaten a 1 seed. No shade thrown to Toledo or Eastern Michigan there by me naming the top 4. But I think it's been like a ceiling. Like those top 4 have been really good in this conference the entire year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I had a whole game plan. I remember where I was sitting. I remember what time in the pod. I remember which pod. When I realized how little I knew about college baseball compared to Noah, he has every guy in the MAAC on speed. He knows this conference backwards and forwards. So I'm not going to just completely trail him. So I am going to allow him to do this. No, I want the team that's not Kent State that's going to win. Like, I know you love nerding out about this conference. Give me a team to root for, and I'm going to go over the top like I have with Austin P, George Mason, all of the above. Feed me.
Well, the cool story would be Bowling Green. They were the undoubted number 1 seed in the MAAC last year. It would be like the fulfill the year after the year story. They've kind of been the 4th team of that top 4, but the dark horse, like if you don't even want one of those top 4, it's Toledo. It's Toledo. The pitching has been really good for the Rockets. The offense has kind of been uncharacteristically like not great, but they've got 4 arms that are all sub 4.6 ERA that, you know, have really made them competitive in the league this year. In a year where they lost a lot of talent. Like I know Garrett Pike transferred out. He didn't have any academic eligibility. Like it was academic reasons that he had to leave Toledo. He's a 6th year. So.
Jesus, dude, why do you know this? Why do you know?
I know.
He was an all-conference guy last year, so it's like hard not to. So
shut up, Noah.
It'd be Bowling Green and Toledo. One of those 2 teams would be my suggestion.
You want to know why their pitching is better this year too? Ethan Landon, former Troy Trojan, now is a Toledo Rocket. Feed me, Rocket Man. Rockets.
Way to put the puzzle pieces together for me. Because honestly, I'm not close enough to follow like pitching coaches and additions or whatever. But thank you. Now I can actually put some logic to. Yeah. They're the number 1 pitching staff in the conference. They're last in batting average in the conference. It's kind of crazy.
Who cares?
So Noah,
Rock.
Are you a bigger ball knower in the Big Ten or in the MAAC?
Horizon League, actually.
That's
dude, I love that. That is so awesome. I love the Horizon League too. Yeah. What other podcast? This is some self-promotion for a second. What other podcast are you gonna find this kind of shit? Where we just talk this shit. We know about academic issues in the MAAC coming out of the Toledo Rocket. We know everything around the country. There's no better place to get your college.
It wasn't issues. He just didn't have any grad programs he could take. So.
Yeah. Let's clear that up before we get sued. It wasn't academic issues. It was he had to transfer because of there was no grad school for him.
Yeah.
You know that's what I told
an academic issue.
That has negative connotations to it.
Yeah, it does.
It was
issue has connotations.
That's their own fault for taking it as a negative connotation. Everyone has academic issues.
I had academic issues.
That's why half the country is prescribed to Adderall. Everyone's got academic issues now.
That's what I told everyone when I got cut after my senior year. It was like, dude, you don't have to cut me. I'm done. They're like, no, you're gone. And I was like, guys, they didn't want me back. Academic.
Anyway, the best uniforms in this conference, only one team qualifies for that. I just want to bring up one thing. It is a sad time not seeing the Central Michigan Chippewas. in this
Crystal
tournament.
ball.
The MAAC championship game, I used to be obsessed with them, and I still am. That championship Sunday in the MAAC between Central Michigan and the weather with Miami, Ohio, Ball State, Kent State has been really fun over the years. And I think
have trust, because they went and hired the coach who was at the school that Jordan Bishel left, and this is his second year here. But like, Sable is going to be just fine. He was at Northwood, where Derek Clark was at, who was the West Virginia ace last year. So he's going to be fine.
He's flexed.
I don't know who those people are, but sounds great. I'm taking the Kent State Golden Flash.
You know Derek Clark. He's the one that they sent out in the Super Regional at like 140 pitches for the ninth.
I know, but I was trying to be funny.
But it's cool that they've
hilarious.
used that Northwood pipeline a couple of times for a hire at CMU. So
I just want to throw this out there. You guys know Mercer swept Kent State this year, correct?
yeah,
All right.
Kent State's come on late, I will say.
All roads lead back to the second.
Anyway.
All right, Missouri Valley Conference. You can just pencil whoever wins this conference tournament in a super regional. Always happens, whether it's
At Arkansas.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying like a super regional.
Oh, or anywhere.
Well,
Greenville, North Carolina.
I'm trying to say, like, put them in the Arkansas regional. Arkansas is not going to get out of the Fayetteville regional, and then they get through.
I feel bad for the Arkansas fans that have listened to an hour and 40 minutes of this pod just to hear that the MVC winner is going to win the regional. But this is it's a weird tournament, dude. I looked at this bracket, confused the hell out of me. It's based off of like seeding and like if you win or lose, the lowest seed and the highest seed. There's like 5 different scenarios for late in the tournament. It's stupid. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to tell you the teams in it and the team that I think will win it. It is 8 teams. 1 and 2 get a bye, and then 3 and 4 play against each other. 6 and 7 play against each other, and 5 and 8 play against each other. And Murray State wins the conference regular season. They were great all year. They beat out Missouri State, who is the 2 seed. Southern Illinois, who I think is the most dangerous team, is the 3 seed. Illinois, Chicago, Belmont, Bradley, Illinois State, and Indiana State. And it's being hosted at Illinois State. Illinois State was a team I was very high on in the preseason. In fact, I forced Dimitri to put them in the mid-major top 25. They fit this Evansville from 2024 criteria to a T. Give me the Redbirds as the 5 seed on their home field to win this tournament.
Yeah, I'm with Ben.
God, that is such a savvy play. I love it.
Yeah, I'm with Ben. I have Illinois State winning on their home field as well. I like Southern Illinois as a team the entire year. I was highest on the Salukis. But, yeah, the Redbirds are calling me here. I think they're a really balanced team in this league. And I'm going to go Illinois State. I think they'll be able to work this thing out and get it done. But, yeah, not a very convincing pick for me, but I'm going to go with the value on the home field.
Missouri State, they have one of the best second basemen in the country. All roads lead back to Charleston. Nick Rodriguez is a dog. I think they take care of business. Missouri State, tradition's too strong.
Give me the Southern Illinois Saluki.
Like how you said that. Give me.
Give me
All right, let's move on. All right, we got the Mountain West Conference. Another weird tournament. It's in Mesa, Arizona. It's either at the Cubs or the A Stadium. I know the WAC is at the WAC and the Mountain West are both in Mesa. One's at the A Stadium and one is at the Cubs Stadium in spring.
No, Lone Park is Cubs.
All right, so this one's at the Cubs spring training ballpark. Nevada, Wolfpack win the regular season. They're the 1 seed here. They get a bye. Fresno State falls short. They're the 2 seed. They also get a bye. And then you get New Mexico, 3 seed, hosting San Jose State. And UNLV, the 4 seed, hosting San Diego State. I'm going to stick with Fresno State here. I do think they're the most talented team, and they hit a rough patch in the middle of the year that hurt their conference tournament chances. Or sorry, the conference regular season chances. But talent-wise, and I think coaching staff-wise, I like the Bulldogs. Give me Fresno State as the 2.
I'm just trying to figure out this bracket.
Yeah, why can't they just say, why are they saying game 3 not advancing team? Just say the loser at game 3, right?
Can't say loser anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I'm a loser stuck in a loser's body. Should I just start saying I'm a non-advancing person in a non-advancing?
It's like almost more insulting to call a team a non-advancing team.
Yeah. I'll go Fresno State because we know that they're going to be playing, because it looks like those games on the left are elimination games.
Yeah,
so I'll go Bulldogs. Because I don't want to lose a team right off the bat in this conference. So I like UNLV. They've kind of been my favorite team in the league to bet on. I think their offense is better than they are on paper. But
Yeah, you did.
Did you just say UNLV is one of your favorite
for
teams
some
to bet on
reason,
this year?
Vegas always provides UNLV lines and nobody else in the Mountain West. It's weird.
Find me a place where you get this kind of shit, my God.
I don't know why, but they do. UNLV looked like really good. I think it was March and April when I bet them like five games.
Didn't they beat Cincinnati in a series?
Yes.
They did.
It was like week 2, right after Cincinnati beat Duke in a series.
Yeah, I definitely didn't take Cincy that weekend.
So you're taking.
I'll take Fresno State too. We all took them, I think, at the beginning of the year. Nevada proved us wrong. They got a kid, Justin Stransky, as like I was prepping for this thing. The one stat earlier, he was the player of the week last week. He was 11 of 13 with 5 home runs. Oh, by the way, he's a catcher. Dude, like, fire me up. Stransky and the Dogs.
Dimitri, didn't you pick Murph Gray to win the Golden Spikes?
He did.
No, he was my dark horse from Fresno.
I haven't seen a tweet about Murph Gray all year.
Me neither. I haven't even. You know what? We're gonna do this right now, right here. Let's see what he did this year. I have no idea.
You guys drafted him in our fantasy league too, by the way.
So he's raking.
I honestly haven't heard his name since February.
Stats. Bio.
If you'd have given me 50 teams to pick which team Murph Gray played for, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Can you just go to their normal stats? There we go.
329.
17 homers. Hey, dude, he's doing great.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
just stepped
God,
through the
he's
cracks.
so good.
Only 27 strikeouts too.
Wait, hold on. Why
I think that actually just
there we go.
Fresno.
Shoot, he's got 36 extra base hits this year.
Yeah, he's just slipped through the cracks, man. That's crazy. Insane year. Great pick fantasy-wise. That'll do well.
Yeah.
Great.
That's a 1040. That's like a 1046 OPS, 330. Dude, what a year for Murph Gray. Let's go, baby.
Dude, you guys, I need to tally the fantasy scores. I'm in the process of doing it right now. But you guys had Rock Chalosky as a late round who's like a top 15 player. Murph Gray did really well this year.
I have Lodis. Georgia Tech. Lodis.
He missed like 15 games, but he's still stud.
Ty Dally hit 20 homers for Mercer.
Yeah.
We did well.
27 Ks and 222 ABs is great.
Murph Gray is going to lead Fresno State to a Mountain West championship.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Fresno State, lock.
And in the process, the 11.7 account is going to at least double the amount of tweets that we saw about him all year. Because, the one tweet was us tweeting about him in Golden Spikes.
Shout out Murph Gray.
I watched him play last year, and I was like, this is a big leaguer playing mid-major baseball. Dude,
did you see how tall he is?
Yeah, he's 6'4". He's like 6'4", 230.
The giant.
Playing third base.
Like we're all on the Murph Gray train. No one knew what he was doing 30 seconds ago. It could have gone completely different direction.
All right. The NEC conference, 4 teams make it. And these are 4 teams that are always fun to root for in regional play. I like the at-large here. Or not the at-large, the automatic bid out of this conference. 4 teams. So the Shocks of Long Island, Jack's favorite, Spinny Hat Sharks. They're the 1 seed. They win the league.
Oh.
Wagner is the 2. Stonehill the 4. And Central Connecticut State is the 3. I'm going to go with Wagner. I don't know. Long Island will probably win it, but I like Wagner's coach. So
these have been the best 2 conferences all year, or not conferences, the best 4 teams. I have no idea where I was going with that. The best 4 teams in this conference.
What makes you say that?
Just looking at it like from afar, they've been the best 4.
Yeah, no duh.
Yeah, you're right in that standpoint. There's some tiebreakers that totally just screw some and good teams, and there's some teams that have loads of talent that miss their tournament. So yeah, I totally get that was a joke, and I didn't catch it early. So yeah,
God, that was so passive aggressively mean.
Yeah. Hey, no, these.
Well, I mean, dude, this is the group chat 24/7. By the way, to anybody that
the fact that Noah took 10 seconds, he didn't understand.
Yeah, I flew over my head.
No, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't pick on you, man.
I totally. We're good. We're cool.
No, we're good. No, it's fine.
We're fine. I'm gonna go Wagner because I know that Jack is also going Spinny Hat Sharks, and Wagner's got 7 dudes in that lineup that have hit over 300 this season. So let's go see.
Jack, are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? Ooh. Are we gonna make the pick together?
I know you see me standing here.
Baby Shark. No,
we're not. We're not.
Dude, Kentucky.
Baby Shark out of the household. We're not doing that.
Dude, Kentucky.
My son up, and he'll be running over here saying, "Did someone say Baby Shark?"
Baby Shark.
No, I'm muting you. How do I do
it? Kentucky does that on 2-0 counts. They do Baby Shark. And then on 3-0 counts, they go, Daddy Shark 2-2.
I'm going to have to mute you too. Jack, it's just you and me now. All right.
Well, you know what I think, Ben? I think in 2019, Baby Shark almost killed my sweet grandmother when the Nationals almost beat the Astros.
Yeah.
So how dare you? It's the Spinning Hat Sharks. So go damn Sharks. Shout out to Long Island. I like you, boy.
All right, the OVC bracket. We know there's probably going to be a tornado warning at some point. There will be golf ball size hail. The games will be playing Sunday at 4 p.m. right before the buzzer of the selection, or Monday right before the selection show. This tournament is always wacky, but a ton.
It just builds character, right, Ben?
Yeah, the OVC tournament. I was never lucky enough to play in it as a freshman. We didn't even qualify for we wouldn't have qualified for the NAIA tournament. We were so bad, but. It is a Wednesday through Saturday tournament, and it is 8 teams make it. 1 seed. Congratulations to the Panthers of Eastern Illinois, home of Tony Romo and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're the 1 seed. They win I think this is the first time they've won the OVC in 30 years. So good for them. SUI, Southern Illinois at Edwardsville. They're the 2. Tennessee Tech 3. SEMO. Dimitri, your SEMO boys let you down. They're the 4 seed.
God, how fucking bad were they this year?
Yeah. Now my Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles are postseason eligible this year for the first time. They're 5 seed. Little Rock 8, Lindenwood 6, UT Martin Skyhawks 7. I'm doing it for fun. No, I'm not. I was gonna pick the Skyhawks, but they're not winning 5 games. No way. I'll take SEMO. It's one of those. Let's just take SEMO until they prove us wrong. They proved us wrong all year, but this is their conference. I'll take SEMO.
I'm researching something real quick. Jack, go ahead and skip me for a second.
I hope I don't take your research from you. Ben, who's the number 1 team in the country in sacrifice points?
That would be the Citadel Bulldogs.
Well,
that would be
2.
Eastern Illinois Panthers.
Small ball, baby. Let me play some EIU baseball. EIEIO from Eastern Illinois.
Ben, I was thinking about taking the UT Martin Skyhawks. They led the Ole Miss Rebels for about 3 innings earlier this year.
Heck yeah, they
really impressed with those 3 innings from the Skyhawk.
Build the statue now.
No, there's only one daddy. There's only room for one daddy in this conference, and that's the Red Hawks from Southeast Missouri.
That's getting clipped. Like, you just screwed us, man. That's getting clipped by whoever wins this tournament.
You know
That's
who's
fine.
going to win this tournament? I'm going with Lindenwood, the 6th seed. Give me some value.
The who?
Lindenwood. Look, it is happy holidays. It's holiday season. Tournaments, I love brackets more than anything. Some teams aren't just playing for a conference tournament this weekend. Some teams are playing for a national championship. Some teams don't have any chance of getting into the NCAA tournament because they're in transition and a probation, 4 years of getting to be NCAA tournament eligible. Lindenwood's one of those teams. And shout out to another team that we got screwed by, Point Park, who transitioned into D2. They won their conference tournament with that, mentality of we're playing for a national championship. We're going to be one of 2 teams, or how many other teams that do this, that win their final game of the season. Lindenwood's got the best pitching staff in the conference by a full run in ERA. Josh Newell is 10-2 on the season with a 3.18 ERA and 90.2 innings. Give me Lindenwood. Let's go.
Okay. One pitcher is enough. I was about to cut you off. If you're about to name me their whole pitch staff.
I love it.
Oh my God, there's no better place for this.
Noah had to bring in his frustrations from Point Park transitioning to Division II.
1,000%.
No, if you
we won the Natty.
Yeah, we did.
I'm a proud alum.
All right, the SEC tournament. I will preface this with the exact same phrasing I said in February. Who cares? Who cares who wins this?
Dude, we all know the story, right? Like, there's 12 tournament teams right now. There's a possibility for 13 or 14. Some teams are playing for a national host. Whoop-de-doo. Some teams are playing for pride. Like,
let me tell you. Let me make this really easy for you guys. You see this game right here? Ole Miss versus the winner of Florida, South Carolina. Florida wins this game. The winner of Ole Miss and Florida could very easily play for a hosting spot. All right? And then up here, you see Alabama and Missouri. Alabama's going to win this game. They're going to play. Actually, they're not going to. They could win this game. But I think I'm taking Missouri in this tournament. I'm going to try to get 16 points here. Not actually, but Alabama, Tennessee up here on the top. They could also be playing for a hosting spot. Tennessee, I think if they make a semifinal appearance, they could be hosting. I think Alabama's got to win 1 or 2, and they'll be hosting. So there's a lot of interesting small storylines in the grand scheme of things of this tournament. I think Texas A&M got to win the whole damn thing to get in. Mississippi State, I think they're fine. So South Carolina win the whole damn thing. Kentucky's got to win 1 or 2 to get off that hosting fence. So a lot of interesting things going on here. Anyway, go ahead.
Retweet everything that Dimitri said there.
Yeah, I mean, he misspoke and said Kentucky was on the hosting bubble, but that's fine. He meant at-large bubble, right?
Did I say hosting?
Yeah, but that's fine. I knew what you meant.
Hosting at-large bubble, yeah.
Yes, like it would be great if Texas A&M went on a run and won the whole thing. Like, great storyline, blah, blah, blah. Missouri, South Carolina, I think they've already packed up their dorm rooms and, like, ready to go. I don't even – it would it surprise you if, like, one of those 2 teams just, like, forfeited and, like, didn't show up? Like, how surprised – I know it won't happen. It will not happen. But how surprised would you be? Are we tweeting in all caps if that happens?
No.
I don't think we are.
Nope. Carrick Jackson, Missouri Tigers have decided they've had enough of this season.
Yeah, I don't even know if we would tweet in all caps if that.
All right. Let me ask you guys this question. If the SEC championship game was Missouri versus Texas A&M, do you think the viewership would be very high or very low? Let's just say the average number is 10,000. Do you think it would be 20,000 or 5,000?
It would be very high. It would be very high.
Extremely high.
I think yeah.
I mean, oh my God,
Yeah.
dude! Please feed me a Missouri Texas A&M championship game. I would. Oh my God, I'd be locked in. I'd be so locked in.
Yeah, I'm gonna burst your bubble. It's not gonna happen because, like I say, who cares? That's a joke. There are a ton of storylines, like you mentioned, Dimitri, and it revolves around like the national seed bubble. It revolves around the hosting bubble. It revolves around like the actually get into the tournament and solidify your spot as an at-large. I do look at the bracket though, and I'm that Arkansas at 2 seed is screaming to me because they'll get the winner of Florida, South Carolina, or Ole Miss. We know Ole Miss has like one ace pitcher. They're going to throw him that winner game against Florida and South Carolina. So it will be Elliott against a Florida team that is depleted and very injured right now. And they're playing great baseball. They're the hottest team in the SEC like down the stretch. But I don't think Sully's going to push the limits. He might actually be okay, like one and done. Let's get out of here and stay healthy. And I don't think South Carolina is going to try very hard. So Ole Miss will probably win that second game. And then Arkansas, they have to win 3 games to win the whole thing. They have a good setup rotation, 1, 2, 3 punch. Give me Arkansas as the 2 to win the SEC tournament.
For the record, I think Florida's got a really good rotation. 1, 2, 3.
They have 9 position players right now.
Yeah, I totally get that point, but I have to push back. Like Pierce Capola looked really good last weekend against Bama. He threw 65 pitches. They're stretching him out. I think he had 10 strikeouts. And then Aiden King's been like the most steady arm that's been in that rotation the entire year because Liam Peterson missed some time too. And that was a guy that they didn't really even know what they were getting in him. He was like a leverage arm the first 2 weeks, and they moved him into the rotation after Capola's injury. So I think Florida's got a really good rotation.
I want to add this real fast, Noah. Can I just, because you're right.
Ahead.
You're right about all of that. Do you guys think Sully, like, maybe talked to the AD who is on the committee and said, like, yo, if we get 1, are we good? Are we going to host? Because if that's the case, I might forfeit game 2 just to stay healthy. Like, that's an extra 9 innings of my guys potentially getting hurt. I don't want that.
Their trend that they're going to use, like everybody's going to say, like you need 16 SEC wins to host. They have 14 SEC wins in the last 6 weekends. So that's probably what they're going to say is like once they figured out after all the injuries early, that's been the best team in the SEC during the final 6 weekends. They've won 6 weekends in a row.
I think Florida needs, if they beat Ole Miss, because I think that's going to be a game, because recency bias is massive when it comes to the selection show. All they talk about is the SEC tournament and the head-to-head the last 2-3 weeks of the season. I hear it every year. They always do that shit. So I think if Florida beats South Carolina, they're going after Ole Miss. They're going after them with everything to try to win that game. And then after that, I think they don't care anymore. So
I'm gonna go ahead and steal this pick right off of Jack. I'm gonna take LSU. In that first game, they would have to face Samuel Dutton again. But I went and researched it. He has a 5.29 ERA away from Auburn. And I think LSU would be itching at the opportunity to face him once again here. And, the Tigers, they do have that Saturday duo of starting pitchers in Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. And then you go Johnny Holstaff in that final game of the SEC tournament. LSU under Jay Johnson have been to 3 semifinals in 3 years in the SEC tournament. So when there's some coaches that may not, go all out to win this thing, I look at LSU and I see that they've been pretty competitive in the SEC tournament the last 3 years, make it 4, and I think they win it this time because all 3 years they were eliminated in the semis. Actually, last year they got to the final, so take that back. But
I mean, they have to win 1 game and they're in the semifinal.
Yep.
So there's a couple different storylines here, obviously. The first being, Dimitri, you're kind of spot on with the train of thought that there's
it's so funny.
Dimitri, that was so funny, dude. Noah was talking about they're gonna make the semifinal for like the 4th year in a row. And Dimitri goes, they gotta win 1 game.
Yeah, but previously there was a loser bracket. They had to win at least 2 to get there. Yeah.
So
I thought there was a fucking booger on my nose or something. You just started laughing right when I started. I was like, damn it. All right, there are 3 trains of thought. I don't think Florida cares. I don't think any of these coaches care about winning if you're in. Like, I really do believe that. Like, Georgia lost in the very first game last year. They got on that bus and they were stoked to have 10 days off because they still hosted as a national seed as that number 8. Like, this conference, I'm with Ben. Like, not who cares, but like these coaches, I think, are all ultra competitors. They're not devastated if they lose. I'll put it like that. Second, the biggest storyline going into the tournament should be the fact that Ben Upton and I smoked about 37 ice cream sandwiches.
Set a record.
And I'm not – oh, we tried. We went and said, we're going to do this. We set a record. All kidding aside, and then as an appetizer would crush those ice cream cones in between the ice cream sandwiches just to make sure we were getting back on the horse. It was out of control what we did to the dairy there in Hoover, Alabama. I mean, just insane. But lastly, I need you guys to take a little trip with me. Why not? I said it at the beginning of the year. I'm a storyline motherfucker. I just ain't. I can't help it.
Dude, who is your pick?
He's going A&M.
You should know by now. You should know by now.
Do you think it's an accident that the Dallas Mavericks got the number 1 overall pick in the draft? Do you really think it's an accident? Greg Sankey and the boys are about to do something dirty. College baseball viewership's going crazy. You thought it was Dutton that's going to face LSU? Tuesday, sure, Prager. Wednesday, we'll figure it out. It's going to be Lampkin against LSU. And then it's like what Kevin Millar said, why not us? And in the championship game, because no one cares about the SEC championship, it's going to be Texas and Texas A&M. The scriptwriters had this thing done. I thought it was going to be the Natty. I didn't realize it was going to have to be the SEC championship.
I'll help you out. Put some respect on my guy, Miles Patton. He's that third arm. He's going against LSU. Lampkin goes against Auburn.
Dirtbag.
Aggie. 14, Aggie. Hayden Schott. Tell the boys I'll see you at a regional.
All right, cool. We got Arkansas, Texas A&M, LSU off the board. Gentlemen.
Got no clues.
No, he's going Georgia.
Got absolutely no idea.
Does Sully keep cooking?
No.
Does Sully keep cooking? No?
I don't think so. I think you want to win 1 or 2 games and then get out.
I will almost guarantee.
He's throwing out some feelers. That's not my pick. I already had my pick. I've had my pick the whole time.
No, you didn't.
Do the dogs keep barking?
There's like
The
3
dogs keep
teams
barking.
named the dogs in this. All right.
I know.
The red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land. Give me the Vanderbilt Commodore.
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
Give me the Vandy boy.
Vandy played really well in Hoover last year too, I think.
When Texas and Texas A&M play for the SEC championship, are you guys all going to buy me dinner?
I will.
Or something cool. You guys all get a pencil tattoo?
Here's Ben's greatest favorite tournament of all
the SoCon
time.
tournament is great. Floor field, Greenfield, right downtown, and ball. It is basically you set up Fenway Park on the moon. You're going to see scores that you wouldn't see in a SoCon football game in this tournament. 8 teams make it 5 versus 8, 6 versus 7, single elimination, and then Mercer gets the bye. Citadel gets the bye as a 3 and a 4, and then ETSU, who wins the conference, we got to see them in person call their game last week. They get the double bye with Samford as the 2 seed gets a double bye. Every year, a different team wins this tournament. I don't know if we've seen repeat champions in a decade. And this is Mercer's year, and I full-heartedly believe that. Mercer is set up nicely to make a little run. I think they're going to hold Colton Cosper for game 2 against ETSU because they believe they can beat the winner of Western Carolina and VMI in that number 1 game with their first game after that first bye with their number 2 starter. I'm just telling you, like, this is the first year I actually have the gut feeling that Mercer will win the tournament. I pick them every year, but I never believe they will. Pitching depth is so much better this year. The offense is the best in the conference on paper. So give me the Mercer Bears as the 4 seed. Lock it in.
I'm going East Tennessee State. I really like their rotation. To me, if you have a little bit of pitching in SoCon, you can keep those football scores low. That's my only hope in this weekend is that
Noah, leave the SoCon talk to the X pick.
I'm going Bucks. I'm going Bucks because I think it's the best staff in the conference, and I think they do have 3 quality starters that have all made every trip through the weekend rotation. And Fink, Hyde, and Harpster. Give me the Bucks. Win 3 games. Win the win the championship.
Or you could take Wofford's route from last year and go 6-1 in this tournament.
Yeah.
Like they had to play 7 games in 4 days and they won it all. And then Samford in 2023, they won 4 games in I think 24 hours.
Like less than 36 hours or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. They won like a doubleheader that Saturday just to get into the final. No, they won 3 games in 1 day. That's what it was. On Championship Sunday, they won 3 games in 1 day. 2023 Samford, look it up. 3 games on that Championship Sunday.
I believe you.
It's a crazy tournament. A lot of fun. If you're anywhere near the area, go to this tournament. It's a blast.
No, I'm just going to tell you something. The 1 seed does not win the SoCon tournament. It just doesn't happen.
I know good and well. I know by experience.
No, 1 seed. The only 1 seed I know of that had dominated this tournament from day 1 to the last day is the daggum Mercer Bears. The 2015 Mercer Bears. We showed up and belt to ask everybody in this tournament. Went undefeated, went into a regional. But with all that being said, the 2 seeds are always the best team to pick in this tournament. The 2 seeds are a great team to pick. So give me the Samford Bulldogs.
That's so gross.
Statistically on paper, ETSU is the best offense in the league, and I think this is the 7th best offense in the country. Cooper Torres has got 22 homers, 4th in the country. They're 20th in hits, 24th in batting average, but they're also 22nd in team ERA. Now they did have their Saturday guy go down. They don't really know if it's going to be an elbow for a shoulder or if he's going to be able to throw this week. But we saw this kid, Brady Frederick, go 5 1/3. Knuckles on the ground, throwing 85 miles per hour is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. With that being said, I'll take ETSU.
Jack, it's not too late. I wish I would have cut you. ETSU can still get in the tournament as an at-large. They're 47 RPI.
You know that. They're not getting in. They should,
no, but they could.
They're not going to.
They need to make the championship game.
Yeah, like Mercer could beat them at the championship.
You can't lose 2 SoCon games and still maintain a mid-40s RPI.
They could lose to Mercer twice, who Mercer is sitting at number 69 in the RPI, and that would be a quad 2 game. I don't know.
Hold on. No, I will say this. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm saying that right now, statistically speaking, this is the 6th best conference in college
brother.
baseball.
You guys, stay off the weed, please.
Can I mark you down for Mercer?
Just Ben, I did it at the beginning of the year with Mercer.
No, take ETSU. I want to be the one that believes.
I kind of wanted to take the Citadel. I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd be so much fun.
You already said ETSU. We're on to the Summit.
All right, we're in the Summit League.
Leave the SoCon to the experts. Want to run away.
Summit League, unfortunately, the Tommies of St. Thomas won the conference. Again, they're not postseason eligible, so they cannot participate in this tournament.
Let them play.
Well, no. Oral Roberts is now the 1 seed. North Dakota State 2, Omaha 3, South Dakota State 4. This is Oral Roberts is.
All right, can we just hurry up? Is everyone taking Oral Robert?
Yeah.
I'm not. Omaha 3 seed, bang the trash can.
Pick me guy. You're such a pick me guy. Look at me guy.
I'm gonna come out there. I really am gonna Fredo kiss the shit out of you. I swear to God. Do they do that in Italy? Do you guys kiss each other on the cheeks? Yeah, no, for sure. That's awesome. Really cool.
Are you done?
You got an
I
answer?
don't have the answer. Okay, what do you want?
Let's talk Sunbelt.
Wait, Jack, what do you want?
No, I'm over it. Hurt my feelings.
Hurt my feelings.
All right, we're going to the Sunbelt. The Funbelt tournament, we got to experience it last year. It's a blast. Downtown Montgomery is awesome. The stadium setup is sweet. Jack and I had an absolute blast down there last year. And I think it's a tournament that will probably end up chalky. And hopefully it does with a Southern Miss Coastal Carolina tournament championship game. That's what I'm dreaming of. But this year I'm getting other vibes. I'm getting a vibe of one of these other let's cut it off at Troy. So there's 10 teams that make – so one of the other 7 teams will make a run here. And I think the team that it could be is Texas State at the 7 spot. Talent-wise, Texas State has at times surprised me at how good they are. And they're a good balance of explosive offense and then also have some arms that throw hard. I'm going to say that Texas State makes a run to the championship game but loses to Southern Miss. Southern Miss is going to solidify a hosting spot here. But watch out for Texas State.
I'm going to disagree with Ben to a point because I do think it's a Coastal Carolina Southern Miss final that we've been so antsy to see, just like that Stetson Austin P final in the A-Sun. And I'm also going to just agree with him on the point that I think Southern Miss is the winner. I think they will have more to play for in this tournament. I have more faith in the Golden Eagles getting to the championship game than Coastal because I think Coastal's got to host. I don't want to say locked up because they are mid-major, and I could totally see the committee screwing them and only giving one Sunbelt team a host if Southern Miss plays their way in. But I think Coastal's got to feel really comfortable entering this week. Southern Miss is playing to be a host. I'll go Golden Eagles.
I think Coastal has locked up a regional hosting spot. I think if it was a championship game, Coastal Southern Miss, it would be Coastal playing for a national seed, Southern Miss playing to host. That's the way I would look at it.
If Southern Miss makes the championship game, they're probably going to host. Mm-hmm. So give me the Southern Miss mustard buzzers, whatever everyone calls them. By the way, what a name. Give me Southern Miss.
You guys are fucking scared. You guys are so scared.
Scared of what? Scared of what? They're the best team in this conference besides Coastal. And
pick
Coastal,
the shot, Jack. Do it.
Is Troy on the bubble?
No, I mean, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Troy.
Any reason?
Bubble. Need it more. I think Coastal's in.
Can I ask you
better pitching.
A question, Jack? They were on the bubble before this week. Kind of.
I don't think they would.
Southern Miss swept them.
Well, then good. They're definitely in the bubble, so they need it more. I thought they were playing for.
And they got their fucking ass swept. But what makes you think it could be any different in Montgomery?
Your logic, the whole fucking whole time. You chicken shit are scared to get yelled at on Twitter by Southern Miss fans. No. I was mad. When in the first 15 minutes you reached around your elbow to get to your asshole playing the Yale and Columbia videos. And then I was like, all right, let's tie this family back together. Now I'm taking the team with its back up against the wall. I thought I'd piss off Southern Miss fans a little bit more.
Say something mean about them. Say something mean about them.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Say something mean about them.
Troy, I could go without the ombre jerseys. I'm not a huge fan. Big fan of the tweeners and stirrups, though, but the ombre jerseys are not my favorite. How about that?
That's fair. What was I going to say? Troy definitely needs to win a few games here. I think they can. I easily can. All right, let's go to the SWAC tournament. This is in Birmingham at Rickwood Field, historic Rickwood Field. Going to be an awesome tournament. I'm going to make it quick. I think Bethune is the best team in the conference, and I think Florida A&M is the second best, and then there's a big drop-off. Congratulations to Logan Stout at Arkansas Pine Bluff, really turning that program around like day one. So good for them. Grambling State was a great story last year. We rode with them hard at the A&M Regional. We wanted to see them do well. But I think it's going to come down to Bethune and Florida A&M, and I'm going to go with Bethune as the one.
So why is the 3 seed in the 1 seed's bracket?
That is weird.
That is weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, not the biggest fan of it, and hopefully it's a typo. But I like Bethune. I'm going to go Bethune.
Hey, there's one name to know from this school down here. Noah, can you please say his name?
Cardell Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. Can he win this tournament for the Southern Jaguars? If they're the 7th seed with arguably one of the best hitters in college baseball, the mid-major level, and all of baseball, actually, statistically speaking, and they're the 7th seed, I mean, they're a really bad team.
That's why I was pushing for him hard to win Player of the Year.
What are we doing here?
No. That's not a good thing. I mean, they're so bad, and he's not impacting.
You circle him on the scouting report, and we're saying we're not letting this kid beat him.
Nope.
And he did.
Yeah.
Cameron Nicken clears. Anyways, give me Bethune Cookman.
Does he hit in the 3-hole or the cleanup spot? Because I'm glad that I got moved back down to the cleanup
totally
spot.
cut you off.
Feeling better 4 rounds ago. Just, now that Dimitri's got my juices flowing again. BC.
Hey, the winner of this will end up
here.
But
just take Bethune.
Cardell bats second to answer your question too. You asked if he batted in the 3-hole or cleanup. Second.
I'm hitting the 2-hole tonight as well.
All right, the WAC tournament, also in Mesa, Arizona. This one a little controversial from last year. Tarleton State comes out of the losers bracket, wins the whole thing. They're not postseason eligible. So Grand Canyon got to go to the regionals. Now, I believe I'm like 99.9% sure that Tarleton State is eligible this year.
They are.
And they are sitting at the 6th seed up at the top of the bracket. Double buys to the Hornets of Sac State and Wildcats of Abilene Christian. They're co-champions, but Sac State won the tiebreaker. Really good story out of them. Pretty close with their coaching staff. And then Utah Valley is the 3. Grand Canyon is the 4. They both get a bye. And then you get a single elimination, Tarleton State versus UT Arlington and Cal Baptist versus Utah Tech. Abilene Christian was my preseason pick to win the conference, and they were co-champs but lost the tiebreaker. I'm going back to the well. Abilene Christian, I love their bullpen. The bullpen is sneaky good, and they have guys that throw flames. So give me the Wildcats.
I like Sacramento State. They've been, in my opinion, the best pitching staff in the conference here. I think they do enough offensively, and plus they gave themselves great cushion with a good bye. Give me Sac State.
We have a standoff. Who's hitting
Zach,
3
go ahead.
Is that okay? I got it. Sac State's pitching really good. Actually, no, statistically, not only just in this conference, really across the entire country. Like, they have had really consistent weekend starters. But I've rode these guys from start to finish. I've seen them do it in the big-time moments. They've sustained some injuries to the mound. I just think that there are some programs that play better this time of year, that have coaches that like get the best out of their guys this time of year. I think one of those programs is Grand Canyon. I know it's a team that we've loved to talk about. I know specifically getting to know a lot of those guys. And you've asked, are there certain guys that can win tournaments? Zach York is one of those dudes. You want to talk about fearing a guy? Zach York, Ben's favorite player, is an absolute phenom. And he's a name that, like, can't you see going viral? right? And the college baseball fears when 11.7 touches the Big Apple every time he goes, yeah. Sacramento State's really, really talented. And I love their arms, but I am going to take Grand Canyon just because I think they're always really good this time of year.
Wait, who are you going with?
He took GCU.
Grand Canyon.
Noah, who did you take?
Sac State.
That's what I thought. You guys remember that video where the girl goes, I'm going to Abilene Christian, whatever. What did that how did it go?
I'm going to Aaron's catch.
Anyway, Sacramento State, unbelievable year this year. Same thing with Abilene. I think Grand Canyon underwhelmed massively this year. This should be their conference. Year in and year out, this should be their conference. But I think it's a very underrated conference. Even a team like Cal Baptist can really win this thing. Major disadvantage being the 5 seed. You got to play you got to play 2 games before you even get to Sacramento State and Abilene, which is it's a no-brainer to not take one of them. So give me Sac State.
I think Grand Canyon is going to be a very popular pick here, and rightfully so. They have struggled down the stretch, but that's a lot of value at 4 seed.
A lot of value.
4 points. That's a good pick, Jack.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have one left, right? One conference?
Last one.
West Coast Conference right in Las Vegas. Who's going to be jumping into the pool as conference champions? This is rule 13 of 11.7. The Toreros, they run the conference. They've been playing unbelievable baseball the second half of the season. Give me the Toreros of San Diego as the 1 seed. USD for life.
San Diego, number 1 for me as well.
Yeah, I'll go San Diego. I'll co-sign that pick. This is another one of those tournament formats where the first 2 get buys, and then there's a play-in game for the other 2 or the other 4 teams. Personally, I get a little scared not picking those 4 and not being able to, I could get eliminated day 1 with a pick. I wanted to get cute and maybe look at St. Mary's, but I'm going to go San Diego.
All right.
I'll take San Diego, but this is my 8th number 1 seed. So
That's
that
fine.
makes it's right around a 30% clip. So
I haven't even kept track of mine.
I wanted to
don't
keep
really
it
care.
under 9. I had to have some sort of morals and get weird and take a bunch of.
I have 11.
Okay, I like it. That makes me feel better.
Hey, also, I want to throw a shout out here as we wrap up the show.
Dude, I know where you're going because I was going to say
Jersey Mike's just sponsoring 5 of these conference tournaments is unbelievable. Jersey Mike's, hit us up. We'll get it Mike's way, and we'll promote the hell out of you.
that's actually not where I was thinking you were going, but that is a very interesting point. Yeah, we should definitely hit up Jersey Mike's. Dude, I asked you prior to the show what your Synergy Sports softball teams were. Liberty just won the regional at College Station. Number 1 Texas A&M goes down.
Hey, and I'll tell you a good story about Liberty softball. They were not Synergy clients last year. I get hired. I help bring them on board. Go to a freaking super regional. I'm pumped for that staff. Really good staff.
Go.
Yeah, shout out Synergy. We make things better and easier. So before we picked our 26 conference champs, and let's try to do this pretty quickly and wrap up 2.5 hours. We said that we would pick a team that will not win the conference tournament. 8 teams or less. We might make an exception or 2 if you bring out somebody, Florida Gators, whatever. But will not win the conference tournament, Guaranpees style. I will go first. I hinted at it earlier. I'm going to switch it last second. I have 2 teams written down. I'm going to say the Wichita State Shockers will not win the American Athletic Conference as a 7 seed. Guaranteed.
Didn't you already say UTSA wouldn't win?
Yeah, but that was a different thing. That was a 1 seed that won't win. That's a different.
So you're basically guaranteeing that one of those 6 other teams are going to win this tournament.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am up next, and I am going to guarantee that the winner of the America East Conference tournament will not be Albany. The Great Danes draw Maine in a single elimination game. You know who's hosting that tournament?
Maine.
The Black Bears. And also, I like Bryant. I mean, they've kind of been, postseason regulars. So give them 2 hurdles. Albany, tip of the cap if you get it done. But guarantee the Great Danes are not dancing this year.
I will guarantee.
Guarantee. Say it.
No.
Guarantee.
No.
I will not say it.
Say it.
I will not say it. I will not say it. I will not say it. I will not say it.
So if the team wins the regional, then the VO gets released. How about that? The team that we pick, if they win their regional.
That's a good idea.
I will guarantee
Bitch.
that the Cal State Fullerton Titan will not win the Big West.
Whoa.
no.
They are hosting that tournament. They are actually really live.
I'm a risky. I love taking.
They are live to win that thing. Oh.
Hey, Ben.
Okay, time out. I like to take a risk. You guys are going with these chalky, stupid, boring ass plays.
What?
You didn't let me go.
Risk the biscuit. Come on, guys. Risk the biscuit. I'm not going to do.
Buckle up.
If you guys match me with some risky ones, I'll do it. But I'm going to take like some bullshit team like Eastern Michigan to not win the MAAC.
There's 8 teams in that conference. So, yeah, that would qualify. Or
Yeah, I'm going to take Eastern Michigan. I guarantee Eastern Michigan when I win the MAAC.
All right.
Hey, Ben. You guys all picked games you're not going to watch. I guarantee Mercer doesn't win the SoCon.
Let's go. You know what? I changed it. I guarantee.
It would be the best day of my life. It would be the best day of my life.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys don't do this, this, and this. I was just waiting for 2.5 hours to drop the hammer. We talked about it right before we came on. You want to know the essence of a guarantee? Something you're going to watch, something you have your heart into, a piece of paper to show it for. You disrespected the Pats. I'll guarantee they win the A-10. And I know for a fact, after disrespecting our alma mater, y'all ain't got shit coming.
I picked George Mason. It was
really it was the Riz guy.
Okay.
It was just
Thank
Riz
you.
guy.
He doesn't even like
You know what, Jack? This is why we clash, because we are so similar. We are one and the same that we just fight and clash. Because you know what? I'm guaranteeing that the home team, the host team, Cal State Fullerton, does not win the Big West. You guys don't have balls big enough. You don't
We'll
have
watch that game. We'll watch that game. But I do know now that Ben is watching Mercer every game. In the back of his head. We'll get to close his eyes and think of a fresh, ironed pair of jeans with a pair of flops underneath, dreaming of one day them to be trickled in. So, yeah, there you go.
You know how I know Jack Ben is not thinking clearly today? He hasn't brought his bat out and rested on his shoulder. When he does that, I know he has a clear mind. Today, he doesn't have a clear mind.
Mercer's winning the SoCon, baby.
Nope, I didn't have a clear mind today.
Yeah, it's past midnight. I'm tired.
It's at midnight. You're tired.
Dimitri, you're going to tell that to him?
This was fun, though.
Shit ever again.
Are we doing the 1 seeds, or are we just?
Yeah, let's pick a 1 seed that we don't think will win it. Mine was UTSA. I don't think their head's going to be in the game. My 1 seed. This is not for a guarantee. It's more of just a system pick. UTSA will not win the American. Bigger things on the horizon for them.
I will guarantee the number 1 seed Eastern Illinois will not win the OVC.
These aren't guaranteeing, by the way. So
No.
for the fans, if that wasn't clear. Yeah. What do I think? I don't think Oregon's going to win.
Good.
I don't think Oregon's going to win the Big Ten. They're probably going to see Jerwa, and I also really like the story of Tucker Timmerman that might come about in the Big Ten tournament, because he would be their game 1 starter or the guy that they feel best about going against Oregon. I think that pool is loaded. And also, if they just get to the semi and there's a big fan base there that's not Oregon, like, I like it. So,
are you ready for this one? You smell what I'm stepping in, Noah. I have a guaranteed parlay for you guys. Ready? You can find a way for me to take this. I'd love to take it. Take the field in all Power 4 conference this year. Not one P4 number 1 seed will win a tournament.
I like that thinking.
I'll allow it.
Not one. Not Oregon, not Texas, not Tech, not West Virginia. Nada. You fair with that? You like the guarantee?
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair pick.
That works.
Give me all 4 of them. Is that
so? Is mine no longer fair? Did he
Yeah.
just come over me and dunk on me and say that your pick's not
No,
fair?
you laid it up and in, and he went alley-oop off the backboard.
I was
I was Dwayne Wade and he was LeBron James. All right,
I was thinking
like
about
that.
this earlier today. I didn't want to say like Rhode Island. No shot Rhode Island wins.
Jack, I'm going to make a graphic tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to literally be called Follow or Fade the Jack DeLongchamp Guarantee. No
Chomp.
Power 4 wins their tournament. And it's going to be a thread of everyone pissing their pants.
Okay. Oh, I love it.
The only reply you can have is if it's you pissing your pants. All right?
It's happened before. I'll do it again.
Be the greatest thread ever.
These weren't guarantees.
That was a guarantee.
Yeah.
A guarantee parlay.
Could you imagine just scrolling a thread of people pissing their pants? Just a bunch of burner accounts of dudes pissing their pants.
We're getting off. We need to end the show. We need to
2.5 hours of just nonsense. Let's go.
Does anybody have anything else to say before we end
Happy
this?
Conference Tournament Week. Happy postseason. Thank you for listening. If you're still here at 2:35, I recommend you reevaluate your life.
I recommend you to get 8 screens because you'll need all 8 of them for this week of college baseball.
Yep, 100%. But we do appreciate everybody for listening and following along. If you did make it this far in the pod, we're going to do another pod sometime this week, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we'll do a Thursday.
Bracketology.
Yeah, bracketology for sure. Maybe like that Thursday would be good. And then selection show is on Monday, so a week from today that you're listening to it. And then we'll get our regional host here on Sunday. Anyways, we love you guys. Appreciate it. Let's have fun. Watch a ton of college baseball. See you guys later this week.